Mother, man.
Hey, I'm Josh Duke. I'm Chuck LaVosse. I'm Derek Kroll. We're Immortal Possession, and you're listening to Murder Metal Mayhem.
Spreading faster than a case of the clap in a trailer court. Able to shatter eardrums within a 666-mile radius. A podcast more brutal than all the rest. It's Murder Metal Mayhem! All right.
What the fuck's up?
Hell yeah, the guys from Immortal Possession doing that promo for us there.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Looking
That's
forward
badass.
to that tonight. It's Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
We're throwing down a new Murder Metal Mayhem. We're in Horns High Studios for the Horns High Podcast Network. Episode 202 going down tonight.
In the 200s, baby.
That's right.
What up?
I got Chris here with me. His girlfriend Courtney is in studio but not mic'd up, so she's hanging out with us.
Gonna check out what we do.
That's right. And we got Joey in Toledo at the 419 Studios. How's it going, Joey?
419, we out here. We right here.
Gang,
That's
gang.
awesome. That's awesome. Seeing you got a lot going on out there, setting up some shows. I'd like to hear more about that, maybe in metal.
Yeah, definitely, dude.
Yeah, I'll talk about metal.
Talk about some of your stuff.
Played my
going
first
on.
show up here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm
dude.
excited.
All right. What t-shirt?
And
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's kind of like Mayhem, but not really. But I'll tell it in metal though. But well, yeah, I'll just talk about the show that I played this weekend. But man, there was this classic dude that was there that I just got to bring up because he was so fucking rich.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, looking forward
cool,
to
cool.
that. Looking forward to that. Chris,
Dude.
what t-shirt you got on?
Well, I got on this fucking Real Tree hoodie
Right.
that my daughter got me for Father's Day, so
Okay.
that's pretty dope. And then underneath that, thank you, Stephanie. I got that came from the Blanchard River.
Nice.
I got the
Your
Blanchard River
419
shirt on, the 419
Blanchard
represent.
River.
What up?
That's
Hell yeah.
awesome.
Hell yeah,
Fuck
that's
yeah.
what's up.
Joey, what about you over there?
I went since we went to the UK. I got the Crepitation camo shirt with the old school camo pattern.
Nice.
Fucking right, dude.
Badass.
Hell yeah, very cool.
Dude, real quick, I just want to say this on the podcast real quick. It's kind of mayhem. It's going to be short, but our homie Mason that went with us to FTA 2 years ago, just randomly, he sent me a message through Messenger today, and it says, bro, I was playing Necro Cannibal Ass Grinder, and the new guy quit today. He said, I'm not listening to music that'll make me go to hell. He said, me and Trat both need Jesus. And dude just quit because Mason
my
was listening
God.
to Necro Cannibal Ass Grinder. Just like, I'm out.
Wow.
I was like,
That's
holy
pretty
shit.
funny.
Fucking killed me, dude.
And I dug this shirt out of the pile today, my Celine Dion, but one of those shirts that makes it look like a death metal shirt.
right.
So it's my Celine Dion. Since, we're going to Canada tonight.
Satan
Immortal
death metal.
Possession, so I'm supporting the Canadian music scene with some Celine Dion
Hell
going
yeah,
on
dude.
tonight. So very cool. Now, last week we did a bonus episode, guys. We did that on the black metal band Dissection and their singer,
Hell
old
yeah.
John Nodvite, doing some craziness, murdering.
Going out killing.
In 1997, ends up doing 7 years in prison.
For
Gets
murder.
out.
For murder.
Gets out and just starts the band back up again. And it's a wild story, and it's got an unusual combination of murder, metal, and mayhem in
All
one
in one.
story.
So, yeah.
So it passed 800 listens today, which is good for a bonus episode. So go check it out, even if you're not a big fan of the black metal stuff, because I'm not either.
Or they're
But I
just-
like Dissection.
And the story's fucking
And
nuts.
the story is just off the hook. So, yeah, I mean, it's worth listening to, even if you're not into black metal or that band. The story of that guy and what he did and how he got, like you said, Chris, 7 years for murder. Just
Yeah.
unbelievable.
I mean, holy shit.
Right. Now, tonight, we're doing a UK case, and I'm not sure how many
Hello,
of our
Governor.
true crime fans will be familiar with the case of old Graham Young, the poisoner. We haven't done a bunch of these, but this guy has got to be the creepiest looking bastard I've ever seen. definitely looks like somebody that would poison like his family and everybody at work.
And
he's pretty fucked up.
pretty diabolical.
Yes, and his crimes ranged from 1962 to 1971 in England, and I thought this was kind of a funny one. The teacup poisoner is what they called him.
It's cute.
That is kind of cute. That is definitely lame
cute.
as fuck. Reminds me of the screen door intruder, but it's not quite that bad, but it's certainly in that
I
ballpark.
think Screen Door Intruder is better
Oh,
than the
you
fucking
think that?
teacup. Yeah,
Teacup
come on,
poisoner,
man.
yeah.
And
I
like
guess.
we're talking about little fucking poodles and shit over here, bro.
So funny nicknames with some of these guys. But Young didn't have a high body count, but he did some fucked up shit, poisoned a
tried.
lot of people.
He tried.
He did, and he fucking journaled the side effects and what they were going through to incredible detail. It's a fucked up one, and we're going to get into this one in the the murder segment tonight. So
Fucking right we
looking
are.
forward to it. At first, I was a little like, Graham Young, not really exciting. But man, when I started digging in, I was
from
like,
the
this
young
is a
age he began, dude.
fucked
Like
up
what
story.
the shit?
So I'm looking forward to it. Now I got the horns tonight, and I'm going to be doing my metal feature, as I said, on the Canadian death metal band Immortal Possession. I did an interview with the guys last week. It was a great time. It was fucking 55 minutes long,
Fucking
or
you
50
got-
minutes long. 6 minutes tonight we'll play for them.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a lot of fun. They were drinking beer. We just had a good time.
Sounds like my kind of guys.
And so, yeah, it's a good one, and we're releasing it as a bonus episode the day after this comes out, like we usually do. So you definitely want to listen to all of that because it was really funny. And of course, I asked them the question about getting trampled in a mosh pit, but this time I went with all Canadians. So we did Justin Bieber, Drake, or any member of Nickelback. So that was the plan, and so you have to listen to those.
Definitely,
responses are great. All right, so that'll be fun in the metal segment.
You
and
got
then
that
Joey,
lost classic, right, homie?
Oh yeah, I got one.
Fucking
yeah,
A.
that's cool. I'm looking forward to that. And then Chris, it's your turn to come up with the funny town names. Did you see that in the?
Oh, shit,
I
I did
wondered
not
if you
do
read
that.
your email. So,
I can do that real quick.
So
we got time before we
you
get
got
there.
a few minutes.
We got
here,
time
but-
before we get there.
But that's why I thought I better mention it. You got to read those emails. Killer Cage match
terrible at
tonight.
that.
We have our listeners provide random numbers on our Facebook group, and they help us decide who's fighting in the cage and what they're fighting with. So, Chris, who do we want to say thank you to?
Tonight we have Colin Rogers. Thank you very much. We have our girl from right here in town, Jess Brown. Thank you very much. And we have Ashley Monson. So thank you all very much for the
Almost
numbers. and-
Manson, but not quite. Monson.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost. So thank you all for contributing and putting up with our dumb shit.
Yeah, Ashley's actually a reader of mine. She's from Fairbury, but her and her husband
Holy
super
shit,
cool.
I grew up
But
in
yeah,
Fairbury.
readers of mine.
And we want to thank Ray the Schlong McFalls for giving other listeners a chance to.
I know. I was thinking the
Thanks
same
for giving
thing.
up, Ray.
Yeah, thanks, Ray. Thanks, Ray. We got
Different
a good
Ray.
matchup in the cage tonight, though, Joey. This is a very interesting one. Who's fighting?
We got fucking the glamour girl slayer Harvey Glatman.
Hell yeah.
And he's gonna. Well, we're doing the UK tonight, so we might as well go up against a UK crazy bitch, Myra Henley, one half of the Moors murderer.
Which is fucked up. That's kind of part of this story,
It
sort
is-
of a little bit.
There is a little bit of that.
That's
Exactly.
kind of fucked up.
It is. So it's an interesting matchup, and they'll have two objects and a variable in the cage to make it fun. So we'll do that in the Mayhem segment. Big thanks to everybody listening. We keep seeing numbers, even though it's the holidays and people are busy. We're at 2,100 this week. So thank you, all those that listen.
Yes, sir. We appreciate y'all.
Especially with a bonus episode week, we're usually down a little. But, check out the new website, murdermetalmayhem.com. We got that web store, got our T-shirts on there, got some activity books, some cool die-cut stickers. And you could join the 666 Club for 25% off doing it that way.
I have also already planned in my head what I'm going to do for the new activity book. I got ideas already.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to be starting on that myself. So
Yeah,
fuck yeah.
I definitely want to get going on that too. I definitely want to get started. All right, so we got a lot
Did you see that fucking? Did you guys see that shit about fucking the band Steel Panther? They were playing that show, and fucking Casey Anthony was up there fucking on
No.
stage, like dancing.
Wait,
and
on
shit.
Oh my
stage?
God.
Get the fuck out
Yeah,
of here,
yeah.
dude.
There's a video you can see it, but it's fucking Casey Anthony up there
Wow.
in Steel Panther.
It's not
That's
a look.
fucked
It's
up.
not a look-alike. It's really her.
No, they said it's really her. It was.
Oh, that's
I don't
hilarious.
know. It was. Yeah, it was said it was her. So I
I've
don't know.
always said if you had to pick, people ask them weird questions like if you had to pick one person, you fuck them, but then you instantly got to kill them. That's that bitch because she needs to die.
She is a bitch. For sure. All right. Well, we got a lot on our plate tonight. We're going to be taking a trip across the pond, and hopefully
yeah.
we don't have a tea party with some fucking psycho
Fuck
making
no.
the fucking tea.
Let's get a mud on, governor.
Conducted by an evil mind, tribulation claiming loud hypocrites, abusing the nation, raining killings like ice cold. Massacre.
Fuck yeah, man.
Why you coughing, Joey?
Some Howler, killer thrash metal band from Costa Rica, and that was the song Panzer 666 from their latest album Descendants of Evil on CDN. Man, CDN
They always
It's
be
just
coming out with some
killing
shit.
it here. My God. Joey coughing.
I know, right?
Big thanks to
Yeah,
Derek
I'm
from Immortal Possession for turning me on to those guys. So definitely talking to the singer about Charlie about doing an interview with them, or at least him. But he said English is not his best language, but he's willing to give it a try, and so that should be cool. And he said as long as I get the questions ahead of time, I should be fine. So, and I always do that. So, all right. Well, we're going to be talking about the UK poisoner Graham Young. Definitely creepy as fuck. Obsessed with poison.
He got started at a very, very early age,
Yes,
dude.
definitely.
Like, holy shit, his knowledge at that
Right.
such young of an age.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah. And while his friends are more concerned with chasing girls, this dude is all about poison and chemicals and learning how he could do what he did, which is fucked up.
They're experiments.
Yes. His murders
Experiments.
spanned from 1962 to 1971. And while he didn't have that high body count we see here in the U.S. and some other places, there were a lot of people that got really fucked up from this dude.
Yeah,
So-
like life altering.
yes. So definitely a demented son of a bitch, and should be a good one tonight. So, Chris, what do you think? Is Graham Young someone that a true crime fan is going to know of, do you think?
I mean, you got to dig deep, I think, because it's obviously, I mean, like I know things here and there, but I had no idea. You said that name. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Right.
I have no idea. And then I started looking. I was like you said earlier, like, that ain't that big of a deal. And you start reading or checking shit out. It's like, holy fuck, this dude was
Right.
psychotic from the time he began. Like,
Yes.
holy fuck.
Yeah, like literally born to fucking be
Yeah.
what he was, right? So, and I'm wondering if I wish in retrospect I would have asked you if we could have got Michael in here to like test our drinks and stuff for us to make sure. Joey, what do you think about that? You know, get Michael in here to test our drinks to
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure we're not getting poisoned.
He'd have done
Just
it.
put fucking McCormick whiskey in all the fucking glasses. He'll test every one.
That's right. Or some Malort, maybe, you know.
Oh, that's poison right there. That's fucking poison, bro.
Now, Joey, they're calling him the teacup poisoner, which is definitely lame, but You know, do you think it's the Graham Young, just not something that's, you know, ringing bells with people? And, you know, we do see these guys with the cooler nicknames getting a little more recognition, you know.
Yeah, man. I mean, maybe over there in Britain, that might be a fucking swanky ass nickname for a serial killer.
Right.
But I don't think so, because they had the original Jack the Ripper. That name was bad as fuck.
Right.
I mean, they started the shit, you know.
That's true.
So
with the cool nickname.
Now, I do think it is a fucking weak ass name, but maybe, you know, them over there, since they love tea so much and it's such a big part of their life, maybe they appreciate it more.
I don't know.
We would appreciate it more if we called them, maybe if we called them the 40-ounce poisoner or something.
The sweet tea poisoner.
The sweet tea.
Yeah. But if you ask me, I think he would have done better if he wouldn't have had a moniker at all, and if he would have just gone as, you know, Graham, man, like Graham of Dope.
Like Graham of Dope, bro. My name's Graham, like Graham of Dope. Fuck yeah, dude. Good. I love it.
So I don't know what it is. It's just funny how some of these, you know, ring, you know, louder than others.
Hey, if anybody doesn't know that right there, though, go on YouTube and check out Heavy Metal Parking Lot. Holy fuck.
Oh, yeah. That is really funny. Now, I wonder if it had anything to do with the fact that his crimes are going on in what the time when Peter Vronsky calls the golden age of serial killers, just a lot of them in the 60s and 70s.
And early 80s.
And the
even.
early 80s.
Yeah.
At the end of his career, he would have been right in that Manson time frame. And we know Manson was huge here, but it was huge all over the world.
Yeah, Manson is
I doubt that they were... Yeah, but I don't think that they were sensationalizing that kind of person over there like we were Manson. And shit.
Probably not.
Right.
Probably not, but I'm sure it was, you know, part of the, you know, news. And so this...
Yeah, but Manson was everywhere on the news here.
Oh, for sure.
Because,
sure.
I mean, you get, like, movie stars or whatever involved in something. It's automatically, like, huge media news and shit. So.
Right. And with this one, you know, you got another story about a guy who gets fucking put in prison, or in this case, a mental hospital, let out to fucking go back to his shit. Yep. We have been doing stories here lately where this has been like a recurring theme with Jack Unterweger was the big one we did where, you know, did his time, got out, kept doing his thing. With John Nodvite from Dissection, he didn't go back to killing, but he went back to the band, so a little different there, of course. But we just seem like we've musically done, you know, people, that's true, people getting out like early and then going back and doing it again is so fucked up. Now, Graham Young was born in Middlesex, England in 1947 to Frederick and Molly Young. He did have an older sister. Now, this is like as English sounding as it gets, Winifred. So,
Winifred.
Now, I'm already going to apologize to our English listeners. We got a lot of UK listeners, so you guys are probably going to be shaking your heads throughout this. We apologize in advance. We're just doing the best that we can, all right?
We're terrible.
I know.
We're white trash Americans. Leave us alone.
His mom dies
also,
of tuberculosis.
Middlesex.
What's that?
Middlesex. I'm pretty sure. I was saying Middlesex. That's where he was born.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that I was born in Middlesex too, but Middlesex, Connecticut.
Oh,
no
pretty
shit.
sure that's the town I was born in.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's not bad sex and it's not good sex.
Just kind of middle.
This is kind of like, yeah.
So his mom dies when he's only 3 months old. His father sends him to live with his aunt and uncle. The sister goes with the grandparents. And then a few years later, his father remarries, and then Graham and Winifred come back. So it's kind of weird.
Oh, no. But he marries another woman named Molly.
Now, how fucked up is that? That's really strange. I mean, I don't know.
His mom dies. Her name's Molly.
Right.
His dad remarries. Your stepmom's name is Molly. You ain't got to fuck around when you're fucking, though. You ain't going to call out the wrong name.
Is that like the Italians, Pete, like in Goodfellas, where it's like Paul,
Everybody's name, hey,
Petey, Paul,
Petey,
Molly.
Paul,
yeah,
Marie.
everybody's Molly. So
Maybe, I don't know. It could be like that. Yeah, that's
yeah, the chances of fucking the chances of it being a Molly might be very high.
It's
over there.
possible. I don't know.
If
I'm
you're
not
taking
sure.
Molly, you're high.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So yeah, he marries this other Molly, and Graham would later say he had a troubled childhood. He definitely didn't like the stepmom, which we'll find out here in a minute. Apparently, she broke apart his toy airplane collection, so that was definitely a bummer. But maybe it's just because he was a creepy,
Fucking
weird
bitch.
motherfucker, you know?
I mean, he.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he was just creeped her the fuck out. I don't know. So, Chris, this guy has some strange interests, even as a young boy. He's obsessed with poison. I mean, what the fuck?
Not just poison, like chemicals and like how they react on certain things. He loves fucking Hitler.
Yeah.
He's a huge Hitler fan.
Yeah.
That's a red
The whole
flag
Nazi
right there.
thing. I mean, he
That's
was totally
a red
into
flag
that.
right there. Like,
Yeah,
what in
exactly.
the fuck? Yeah, he fucking studies fucking World War II history for the Nazis. He keeps doing all this shit with like poisons and whatnot. And so his dad decides, I'm going to buy this kid a chemistry set.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Great idea. This dude is already about fucking chemical warfare with the Nazis, and let's just buy him chemistry shit.
Exactly.
Let him build his own bombs or mustard gases and shit.
Right.
No, probably not good.
No, and I mean, this
Probably
guy,
not good.
he's really smart, too, so that's really dangerous.
stupid smart.
Like ridiculously smart. So, Joey, apparently Graham Young is a big fan of the 19th century English poisoner, William Palmer. I'd never heard of him before, but I did a quick search. He's got a better nickname, Joey. He's the Prince of the Poisoners. So
That's a great name.
that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
You know?
Who's the king?
That beats out Teacup Poisoner.
For sure. But this guy has some strange
I don't-
idols, man.
I can't. I wish I could remember. I was watching one documentary and they were talking about the name of the book that fucking Graham Young grew up and he really liked, and it was about like famous poisoners and things like that.
Oh,
I did see-
yeah.
I can't remember the
The
name of it either
handbook of
offhand.
the
I wanted to,
handbook.
yeah, something like that, but I wanted to fucking see if I could buy a copy of that because it actually looks like it'd be pretty fucking interesting.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I remember hearing about it, and I think it had like the some sort of a handbook of sorts.
It's like the Alchemist cookbook for
Right.
prisoners.
Yeah.
exactly.
I was like, as soon as I heard it, I was like, man, let me grab a pen and write this down so I can remember it. And then 2 seconds later, I'm like, I'm too high to go find a pen, so I'll just remember it. Maybe. And I
That didn't happen, did it?
No. Now, this guy's reading about advanced toxicology. Now, on that note, okay, I work, as you guys know, my day job's in the environmental field.
Right.
I never finished college. I toyed around a couple different times of thinking about maybe trying to finish it out. However, in order to major in something that would fit into what I do, I had to take toxicology. And there was a lady I used to work with who was a environmental something or other master's. And she said the toxicology classes kicked her ass all over the
Like
place.
one of the hardest classes.
Very difficult. So the fact that this dude in like grade school
was yeah.
is like Chris was saying, like ridiculously knowledgeable about a subject that is extremely technical is fucking unbelievable.
Like,
I mean, it really is.
it's insane.
I wanted to make sure I hit that home because I didn't really know toxicology, whatever. I didn't know what the hell it is. But then to know how hard that was for somebody that had a fucking master's degree, who was very smart,
Right.
said it was an ass kicker. So
And now you got a kid in their preteens like, oh, I
Yeah.
know that shit.
he's all about it. So he's got this amazing ability to understand advanced concepts, surpassing his science and chemistry teachers. I mean, the teachers in his school didn't know the shit that he knew. You know?
Right?
Ironically, the father would give him, as you said, Chris, that chemistry set, probably regretting that, though,
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, don't do that.
I think he should have gone for Lincoln Logs instead. You know?
Right?
Something other than that. The Easy Bake Oven would have been better. for your son.
I don't know with not with his infatuation with Hitler.
Oh yeah,
don't give him an oven, dude. That's a bad idea.
He would have been baking fucking chemicals in the cookies.
Oh
and shit.
my God.
Probably not a bad idea. Lincoln Logs would have been better. 1961, he convinces a local chemist to give him some antimony. I never knew what the fuck that. I never heard of that. It's a powdered form of a poison that causes problems with the heart, lungs, and stomach. So this would be his go-to because he was able to get it and grind it to a powder. It's a heavy metal. So I thought, well, there you go,
there we
Chris.
go,
Back
metal.
to the metal
Fuck
and
yeah,
the murder.
that's our metal.
Exactly. So we got metal all over this episode tonight, okay?
Dude.
Antimony. Never heard of it before.
I was like on the way out here talking to Courtney, like he like went in to go get this shit at 13 years old and they wouldn't sell it to him. So he went into this college and got stationery with their heading on it and shit from a women's fucking college. And fucking he went in there and he talked to the fucking chemist or the pharmacist or what the fuck ever. And he sold it to him like, oh, you got this fucking headline on your station. Yeah, you got authorization.
Did you say chemister? That should be a metal band name.
Chemistry.
So yeah, we got heavy metal all over this, but he's signing off these meds under a different name. M.E. Evans.
M.E. Evans
was his pseudonym there. So
I think it stands for medical examiner.
Oh, there you go. Maybe.
I don't know.
He starts experimenting and
Most
poisoning
evil Evans.
his stepmom, his father, and sister. So nice fucking guy here. The stepmom is experiencing horrible stomach pain from the poisoning. That was followed by his father, who's having the same symptoms, stomach pains that would go on for days. I mean, just brutal. His sister's having the same issues. The doctors are absolutely baffled at the strange, sickness that's spreading throughout the house. But Chris, even Graham's having some symptoms. How do you think? Do you think he did it on purpose?
Well, like his sister, like before school or work, I can't remember what it was. But like he gave her tea and it was like so bitter. She like took one sip and didn't drink any more of it. And like on the bus and everything, she started getting sicker just from one sip of that tea. That's how much fucking poison he had in that shit.
No, but then she got the awesome effects of the belladonna.
That's right.
She started tripping
hallucinating.
balls.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I mean, just one sip of that tells you how much of that poison he put in that fucking tea.
Yeah.
And like you said, Pete, like he was getting symptoms too. And like,
was he faking them, or was he really drinking a little bit of it himself?
See, I saw a couple things that said like he even said himself like when he was like getting things together for everybody, he kind of mixed up accidentally. So he accidentally drank it. He gave people the wrong cup or food or whatever. So he just like, oh shit, here I go. But it enticed him to do it more because he felt the effects of what was going on with him. He's like, oh shit. I know what it
he's
feels
like journaling all this shit.
He's journaling all this. He's like, oh shit, now I know what it feels like. Now I want to see what it does to someone else.
Right.
So he kept going harder and harder like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was on a mission, dude. He was on a mission.
He was. Now, Joey, I even seen that some kids at his school were having some stomach pain. So he's doing this shit at school too, man.
Yeah, nobody's fucking safe from this guy. He's going to be fucking experimenting and fucking documenting everything he can, and he's doing it to the people that he can, observe and watch. So he's at school, he's going to do it to the fucking students. And the problem, or the worst part is the people he's fucking with are the people that would probably consider themselves his friends or whatever.
Family, obviously.
For him that's easier to get to because he's around them all the time, so it's easier to fucking poison them.
And that was the thing.
And observe them, like you said.
That was that thing that one kid in school that he poisoned, which his name was fucking Chris, which is fucked up. But like, he got better. He recovered from it or whatever. And he was upset that he couldn't watch the reactions of everything that happened. So the people that were closer to him, that's why he did it. So he could see the reaction as opposed to like this kid's like recovering at his own home. He can't see it. And that's what he loved, to watch it happen.
Yeah, that's what's fucked up because he's, writing all this shit down in a journal, X number of milligrams. She was, in bed for 2 days. Then he knows he can ratchet it up and see what effects that happens
Right.
or has on other people. I mean, it's some seriously devious shit. And as Joey said, that nobody is safe from this motherfucker. Later in 1961, this dude is 13 years old, guys. He poisons his sister's tea. This is the one you were talking about, Chris. And this has
Yeah.
got to be like sacrilege for an Englishman to fuck with anybody's tea.
Man, tea is
That's some
like
serious shit.
that's a coveted thing in
It is.
England, dude.
It's a big deal. So this would, of course, start his reign as the teacup poisoner. And like Joey mentioned, that belladonna, which is also known as nightshade, has that hallucinogen effect. So she's fucking tripping, and she's on this bus and freaking the fuck out. And I'm wondering if they might have thought at the hospital that she had been partying at the Nation.
Maybe he could have been over there. I mean, if you look at the first time Jake ever tripped balls with us, I mean, right, Cashman?
Oh God, that's a mayhem story right there.
That's a mayhem story right there.
So definitely, just all the shit he's causing at 13 years old. And Chris's dad calls him out on this situation. He blames it though on his sister. What is
Was
he?
it his sister or his stepmom?
He
Either
blamed
one.
it on the
But said
sister
they
and
was
said she
using
was-
it to mix up
Shampoo.
shampoo.
Which I don't know. Who the fuck mixes shampoo in a cup? I don't know.
I mean, back in the days, you got to take. Back in the day,
I
mixing
don't
soap,
know.
you got to
I've never
take
heard of
lye
such a
and
thing.
fat and all that shit.
I
Like
guess.
back in the day,
That's
I
old
mean,
fucking school.
That
there.
is old school shit. But
Holy shit.
like, what year was this? He was born
1961.
in 40, yes, in the 60s. You still mixing up your own shampoo?
I guess.
Man,
but
you living
I
off
feel
the
like
grid.
I feel like a
Using borax.
yeah, exactly. Borax.
I feel like a privileged fucking pompous priss that I have bottled shampoo.
Right.
I don't have to mix this shit in a cup. English listeners, fucking let us know what the fuck is going on over there in 1961. But anyway, he's blaming it on the fucking sister mixing the shit in the cups.
and she's the
that's
one that's fucked up.
Exactly. He's just, I mean, what the fuck? But they search his bedroom, they don't find anything. So there's nothing. He's devious because he's not hiding it there. We're going to get to that here in a sec. So this is some strange shit, and I can't imagine as a parent dealing with a child that you think is going to kill the whole family with poison. I mean, what the fuck?
I have Lily.
Oh my God.
That's true. That's true. That's true. She is definitely Shawback spawn. That's for sure.
I think her and Kaya both are just going to
back.
spawn back.
So his dad would eventually just tell him to be more careful with the chemicals. I mean, really?
Doesn't take him away or nothing. Just
No.
like, hey, calm down, Chief.
No,
You're causing some ruckus.
Yeah, instead of taking him and saying, "Here's some Lincoln Logs, go play with them, you fucking fool."
Causing some ruckus, Hoss.
I bet he would be regretting this decision though later on because
Oh,
he
he
winds
does.
up getting fucked up.
Oh, he does.
And his father, this is so fucked up. The dad comes home, sees his wife, Molly number 2.
Yep.
Molly is thrashing around on the ground in complete agony from this fucking shit.
Dude.
And Graham is in the window watching. Like, how creepy
Probably
is
fucking
that?
taking notes and shit too. Like with this
Yeah,
little notebook,
I mean, a
like this
13-year-old,
happens at
that's-
this time. Like,
That's
got
like
it.
total fucking horror movie, like the wee.
Yeah.
You know, he's in the fucking window,
No, that's
watching his fucking stepmom.
Yeah, think of it. He's a kid. He's like 13, whatever years old. That's like some Omen shit with the child
That's what I'm
fucking
saying.
goddamn.
Search
that's
his fucking
creepy
scalp.
as fuck.
Search
dude.
his scalp for that 666. Man, this
God
dude
damn.
is fucked. So it's just so creepy. It just weirds me out. Now, Joey, April of 1862. Now he's 14. And what happens with old stepmom Molly?
Well, she dies after she's fucking probably pretty obviously poisoned if you would look at it, but
Right.
But they don't think so. She had gotten in an accident before and she had hit her head. So they thought that it was after effect from that, and that's what caused her to die.
Right.
And he's sitting there, like, he was messing with thallium at that time, right?
Right.
Yeah, thallium, yeah.
Yeah. So, which is another heavy metal. We're just heavy
metal is fuck.
Metal is
But-
fucked tonight.
But I think he was trying to give his stepmom the one poison. It wasn't working fast enough, so that's whenever he switched over to the thallium. Gave her a dose of that, and then she ends up fucking, dying.
Dude. Ah, shit, I forgot what I was going to say. God damn it.
Yeah, the thallium, he starts introducing that, and he got the idea of that. I didn't realize this from the Agatha Christie novel, The Pale Horse. I don't believe I've read that. I read a lot of her stuff, but I don't believe I've read that one. But that's what gave him the idea for the thallium. She used to use poisons a lot in her murder mysteries, so it doesn't surprise me that it would have been in that one. But
No, me either.
just some really heinous
Oh, I
shit.
thought you were just going to say it doesn't surprise you that a woman would be talking about poison.
Oh, no.
lot.
No.
Because that doesn't surprise me at all.
No, they always say that, like,
no, that was the way women killed back
I
in
was
the
just
day.
going to say, that's the way, if you look at history, like, especially this era and
Yeah.
before that, like, that's how women killed.
Yeah, that's why the
and
Lizzie Borden and the
Stephanie-
Belle Gunnis and some of them are so fucked up. You know?
Right.
Yeah. Stephanie literally told me, she was like, "Oh yeah, if I was to ever poison you, I already know exactly what I'll do." I'm like, "That's
You better
fucking-
watch out.
I don't know how to take
Holy
that.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a little off topic, but we were watching Criminal Minds on whatever app we use to
Right,
watch
right.
it. And the fucking killer is like a network of killers, and they buried these kill kits. And I'm like, motherfucker, that's Israel
That's
Keys.
Israel Keys, yeah.
About 5 minutes later, one of the cops says, "This reminds me of that Alaskan serial killer, Israel Keys." And I'm like, seriously?
Durr.
I'm,
No,
I'm just
what-
this guy that does this podcast, but we learn a lot of shit doing this.
Dude, I was going to say, though, like, after his fucking stepmom, Molly number 2, dies or whatever, she gets fucking incinerated. That's not the word, but... So they can't even do nothing with the
Right.
body to test it after all this shit comes.
Cremation?
Yeah, cremated, yeah.
Yeah.
I said incinerated, but what?
Same
thing.
difference.
Burned to death.
Yeah. But, yeah, they cremated her body, so they couldn't even fucking
Right.
do anything with it. And
No.
what I don't know if it was true, but I saw like 2 things. Is like it was fucking Graham's idea to have
was.
that happen.
It
And
was.
It's like, how are you going to let your 13, 14-year-old
Right.
son
Weigh
decide
in
what
on-
happens to your wife's
Exactly.
body, dude?
Weighing
That's
in on that at
fucked up as
13
shit, man.
or 14 at this time. Fucked up. Now, to even ramp the fucked upness up a little bit more, at Molly's wake, he poisoned a male relative with some of that antimony, or antimony, I'm sorry. And he is doing this shit at the fucking wake of his stepmom, who he killed.
Right.
No occasion is off limits. I
He
mean,
just
the bar
like-
mitzvah, he's fucking poisoning.
Fucking teen years old. This
Flag
dude
Day,
just like
Boxing Day, any
don't
day.
care.
Doesn't give a fuck. His father.
Oh, it's your birthday?
In
I'm
my
going to poison
opinion,
you.
In my opinion, the way this guy fucking operates and what makes this case so just interesting to me is I don't think that he was really caring too much about killing people. He wasn't trying to rack up a
No.
kill sheet. This
No, I don't think
motherfucker
so
wa-
either.
He was legitimately interested in the science of what was going on.
Right, I think so
Right.
And he
too.
was so enveloped. He was so enveloped and so enwrapped in the power that he had in his hand with the chemicals that he was altering things,
Right.
changing things. That
Godlike.
it wasn't that it wasn't that it was cat.
It wasn't
right.
numbers.
It wasn't that it was cats or people or anything like that. He was just learning and he was experiencing and in his own world, basically. So,
Like-
it is
But I
kinda
think it
weird
was a
because
big
I don't
time
think-
control
like-
thing, though. I think
Like, for
control
real?
was a big part of it.
No, like for real, like I know it's not one of the songs used as bumper music, but as I was doing this, I had in my head the whole time Cannibal Corpse homicidal experimentation. Like, yeah, experiments
Oh,
in
yeah.
homicide. Like, it was just like
Yeah.
Let me
it's almost
test
like
this
Joseph Mengele, which he was a
Yeah.
big Nazi dude. So that
Oh,
could
yeah.
very
out.
well
He loved
have
Mengele.
been
dude.
a
He loved
Mengele.
Mengele.
I guarantee that. So really, really fucked up. And his dad would actually be admitted to the hospital with horrible stomach pains. The doctors diagnosed it as antimony poisoning, and if he had just gotten one more dose, it would have killed him. So that's how close he came to killing his dad. He would have a lifetime of health issues because of this shit, and same with the sister. So both the dad, the sister,
And they would never. And the dad would never ever fucking blame it on fucking.
No, the sister never did.
Yeah, it's really
No,
fucked up.
no,
The
sister
dad, I
never.
don't think the dad wanted anything to do with him. I think it
Nah.
was the sister that was more sympathetic, which is fucking insane.
Right.
Now, one of his aunts, of course, knows about this obsession he's got with the chemicals and poison. And it's, obviously his science teachers know as well. And they wind up finding some chemicals in his desk at school. And that's how they wind up busting him. They get him looked at by a psychiatrist who's obviously alarmed at Graham's incredible knowledge, like collegiate level knowledge, and obsession with chemistry, toxicology, and all that. And he goes to the police. So that's good.
Yeah.
So
look
what
at this
happens,
dude.
Chris? He gets arrested in May of 62.
62, dude. 14 years old.
Right.
This dude's busted with these fucking poisons. He's got, like I said, thallium and what is it, antimony?
Antimony, yeah.
Yeah. And he's busted with it. And like you said, he's psycho. The doctors diagnose him no, he's not gonna go anywhere good from this point on.
Right.
He's
Psychopathic.
Yeah, he's obsessed with what he's doing. And he needs to be in a spot where he can't get out of, he needs to be under control, watched over constantly, because if he gets loose on his own,
Right.
he's not going to stop. He's going to keep going and
Right.
progressing and progressing until the time comes where more people die or he dies because he's fucking decides, oh, I want to test it again on myself, because he felt it before. Because
Right.
I could see that if he was never caught like that, I could see him testing it on himself, getting a feeling, and then being okay, I got that feeling, but if I add more to somebody else,
Right.
boom, 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 he's just gonna get it fucked up more. But yeah, he got locked up at 14, and he needed to be, and
Right.
not let out.
No, exactly. They
And that's
said
what
he,
his dad
he
said.
failed to develop morals, is what the doctor
Yeah,
said.
and that's what his dad said too. He doesn't need to
Lock
be
his
let
ass
out.
up.
Yeah,
Exactly. So Joey, that psychiatrist that was seeing him, would recount conversations with Graham Young, who told him he missed it. He missed the antimony and the power it gave him. How fucked up is that, dude?
Yeah. Yeah, that is fucking wild. It was that was an extension of him, was that fucking chemical, because he used it and studied it and fucking experienced so much shit with it, so he felt like he had some fucking connection with it. So yeah,
Right.
he missed it like you would miss your fucking, I don't know, your dog or your fucking kid or so, I don't know.
Right. But did you see that about the lethal dose he kept on him? Did you see that?
Yeah, and I mean that totally makes sense, because this is the exact kind of dude, he loves chemicals and all this shit, and he's like,
Right.
okay, I always got something on me. I mean, this motherfucker, while he was growing up, he always walked around with a thing of acid in his fucking blazer, and
Right.
he ended up burning a hole in it one time while he was at school,
Right.
Because he just always walked around with some acid. What the fuck is that? So, the thought that he's walking around with something, that he can fucking take himself out with in case he's found out for some bullshit,
What is that?
Definitely
What
makes
is that?
sense to me.
Who does
But,
that
like you said,
remind you of, though? The carrying around the poison.
Yeah, any true crime fucking fanatic should
yeah.
always think of Leonard Lake with that.
Without a
that was
doubt.
the classic Leonard Lake move when he when he ate the fucking
Cyanide.
arsenic,
Yeah.
or cyanide. Yeah, he had cyanide capsule. But I mean, this dude was probably fucking thinking along the exact same lines. He just didn't get to it fast.
That's
enough.
right. Or maybe, since this happened before, maybe that's how Leonard Lake got the idea. I don't know.
so I don't think it was that. I think
Possibly,
he just
yeah.
had it on hand. just
he-
to have.
Well, yeah, he always had a lethal dose on him in case he got caught.
Yeah, but I know he said that, like, I got it for me just in case, but he never tried to do that. I think
No.
he just had it and used that as an excuse. He's just like,
Oh,
if I see somebody at a party or at a whatever, I'm gonna be like,
I've always got it.
I've always got it. I can poison somebody right now.
That's true. Doctors who were seeing Graham put him in Broadmoor Hospital.
So we know that place.
We sure do. A psychiatric hospital that was made to keep the worst of the worst with mental illness, criminally insane. We've talked about it before. The old Yorkshire Rippers is there. And
The Moors.
Maudsley.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Maudsley. That was a good case we did. I can't remember what episode number that was, but that was
I'm
a
thinking
good
of
one.
Something different.
But he was in the glass cell. Remember the clear
Yes,
walls,
yes,
like Hannibal
yes.
Lecter style, which is where they got the
Like
idea.
Chikatilo.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, at least he I don't
Swinging
know.
his dick
Swinging
around
his
like
dick.
Chikatilo. He admits to poisoning
Like
his
fucking
father.
Ray McFalls.
Ray McFalls. Oh shit. Oh damn. All right. He admits to poisoning his father, sister, and his relative at the wake, and is given 15 years at Broadmoor, and he could only be released early with the approval of the Secretary of State, which is a little different the way the English do it. They call it a Home Secretary. So I'm not quite sure exactly what that means, but it's not like what we're thinking of, Secretary of State.
It's not giving you a driver's license.
That's right. His mom, I'm thinking on the federal level, but I didn't think of that at the state level. That's funny. His stepmother was cremated, like Chris said, so they couldn't convict him of the murder. So it's,
It's fucking heinous.
it is. Now, Chris, he's 14.
Youngest motherfucker in Broadmoor since 1885.
Yes.
But so while he's there,
Right. He's not
There's
going to stop.
there's another fucking do you call them inmates?
They called them inmates because they were sentenced to be there. So, yeah,
But I mean, he's 14 years. I guess it'd still be an inmate. Even juvenile detention centers, you're still an inmate.
Right.
I know that wasn't necessarily juvenile, but so this dude dies from, I guess it was cyanide. But they're like trying to figure out how the fuck, and he like literally tells the guards like, look around the yard, whatever. And there was these, was it laurel plants, whatever, that he's able to, he was just crushing these plants. He's 14 years old and he looks at a plant and he knows how to extract poison from these plants just around the fucking prison yard.
right. To make
Like,
cyanide.
What
Which is fucked
in
up.
the shit, dude? So like, he apparently did that, and then after they figured that out, they like got rid of all those plants. Like, no,
Right.
okay.
Could you
We see
imagine,
what
though,
we're
they
doing.
walk him up to the place and he's looking around
He's
like he wants to
that
go
one
jack
no good,
off.
that
you
one
know?
no good. Oh,
Oh, man, they got all this
Ooh.
laurel here. I'm making some
Yeah.
cyanide.
but
Yeah.
you would think like after fucking hearing that story, you like, I'm not touching any fucking drink you make me. I'm not touching.
Oh,
shit.
exactly.
don't
There's
want
that one
nothing.
inmate on one of the documentaries, which I'm going to talk about, who's basically said the same thing. I wanted that motherfucker not anywhere near me.
Yeah,
man.
don't
They just
touch my food.
Keep
don't
that
touch
motherfucker
anything.
away from me.
Yeah,
So
yeah, so he figured it out though, man.
that's right. And then Joey finds some Harpic, which is a toilet cleaner. What was the deal with that one?
One of the nurses at Broadmoor, they fucking, she was found with it in her, and it just goes to show they fucking lock this dude up. But everything he looks at, he's like, oh, well, this is made of this, this, and this,
Right.
and I can extract that out of Z, Y, and X, you know. And
Right.
this motherfucker's a genius. When he was coming up, like he wasn't. He was already at a graduate level in fucking toxicology at a teenager, and he never went to school for the shit, but he went to the libraries and he absorbed every bit of fucking knowledge
Yep.
that he could.
Yeah.
When his dad got him that fucking the chemistry set,
That was it.
they said it was basically they said that was basically like giving a master chef a fucking fast food menu or whatever, because
'Cause
fucking the dude already knew
Yeah.
so much that
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you want me to flip burgers when I can make you this badass fucking flambe filet mignon or some what the fuck ever.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
But we
Wow.
talk about it. We talk about some of these dudes, that fucking have so much potential, but fucking go
Right.
the other way with it. And
So
this dude
bad.
right here is one of the most intense cases because this guy could have been a huge leading fucking brain in his field.
I was just
Right.
going to say,
major
yeah.
fucking university.
He could
or
have just
whatever.
Yeah, think of what he could have done with the with
like
the
for
brain
society as opposed to what he did for society.
like that. Yeah, so fucked up. So in Broadmoor, okay, he's in a mental institution. This motherfucker is reading books on toxicology from the library. I mean, seriously, aren't they monitoring what the fuck he's reading? That's like letting fucking Jerry Brutos fucking get the Sears catalog and bring it back to his fucking cell to fucking whack it. You know, I mean, what the fuck? I can't believe they let that shit go on. He's also, and I would love to know the reason why these books are in the library of a mental institution.
All the Nazi books.
Nazi. He's listening to fucking Wagner, which was
Dude.
Hitler's favorite. I mean, really?
This motherfucker's like taking wood and carving swastikas and wearing them around his neck, walking around the fucking.
They said like he had 150 swastika wooden necklaces.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ,
God.
dude.
Fuck are you?
You think this dude's mentally stable?
Oh my God. He's just out of control. And then he even shaves his facial hair with the classic Hitler toothbrush mustache. So
Sorry, it's Charlie Chaplin, sir.
I saw toothbrush mustache and I laughed.
Right, yeah.
Because I obviously knew what it was, but it was just I'd never heard it called that before. I don't know how this is going on without somebody stopping it. I mean, I get that there's like prisoner rights, but it's 1960 something. Like, I'm just finding it hard to believe that this is going on at Broadmoor.
It's
I
like
mean, really.
20 years after World War II is over. Like, nobody likes the Germans at
No,
all.
they fucking bombed. The Germans bombed the fucking. It was like a huge fucking part of the battle of World War II was all that, and the fact that the English stood up and withstood the superior air force of the Germans. So it was like an amazing moment in like their country's history, and this motherfucker is walking around with 150 fucking swastika necklaces.
And they're just letting him carve
He
them.
should have
like,
gone on fucking Etsy or something and sold them. You know,
God
Jesus.
damn.
So I'm just amazed, honestly.
Like, the fact that he's got a knife that he's able to carve these things is amazing to me.
Exactly.
I mean, I guess he wasn't a stabber, he's a poisoner, but still.
Right? Yeah. So his first attempt to get out of Broadmoor is in 1965, but his family's like, fuck that, keep him in there. His dad testifies, says he should never be released.
Right.
And that he's very dangerous, which, yeah. I would have to agree with the old man on that one.
Yeah, I mean, if you're your own father, and we've talked, I can't remember a specific case offhand, but if your own parent is saying, do not let
Right.
this motherfucker out of prison, they're gonna go fucking do it again.
Right. Yeah, we've
should-
done several cases
Yeah, you
like
should
that.
just be like, oh,
Listen to your
oh,
mom.
I know what my child is gonna do. I've raised them. I've seen what they've done
Right.
throughout their whole fucking life.
That's right.
With these actions, it's not gonna change.
Exactly. So they deny him release in 1965. He's 18 years old now. Chris, June of 1970,
1970,
a
baby.
doctor at Broadmoor gets a bright fucking idea.
He's like, he's cool. He ain't gonna poison nobody no
Nope.
more.
He's cured.
He's cool.
He's cured.
He's cured. He's looking like Tony Montana. I was cured. Like fucking, fucking. But
8 years.
No, yeah, 8 years. Fucking. So they're gonna let him out, but he tells this fucking nurse, fucking, I am gonna kill every person or a person for every year I have been in this place.
Right.
Like, when you tell the people holding you captive
Right.
that when you get out, you're going to go murder somebody for every year
Yeah, I've
you've
been here
in that,
8 years. I'm killing eight
Yeah,
people.
8 people.
Guaranteeing it.
You might be one of them.
That's right.
Like,
That's right.
Why
you might
the
be a
fuck
redneck.
would you let? You might be a redneck.
I
Why
think
the
the
fuck would
doctor
you let
that
this
let
dude
him out should have let him stay with him.
Yeah, go live with this
Yeah,
doctor.
go live with this fucking
Yeah,
doctor
there you go.
behind
Hey,
a fucking
Come on, how
big
many kids
wall.
you got? There's you, your wife. So you got 6 kids. Welcome to life.
That's
it's
right.
gonna end.
You owe me 8, so I'm gonna start fucking
Yeah,
killing
starting
all
with you. But yeah,
Invite
why would you
your
let
parents
this
over.
motherfucker
yeah.
out, dude?
So I don't
Jesus.
understand it. Now, Joey, it's amazing they let him out though. February of 1971, man.
Yeah, I mean, they said that he was fucking cured, and this guy, he was so smart that I wouldn't be surprised that if he was talking to them while he was in there and really manipulated them into believing that he was fucking reformed.
Oh,
and,
sure. Like Ed
But
Kemper,
but
like
but
an
how
Ed
can
Kemper
how,
type of thing.
yeah, but how can you believe that whenever if you fucking look at the fucking path that the dude took, there was fucking poisonings involved, even while he was incarcerated.
While
Right.
he was incarcerated,
Right.
dude.
Yeah.
The power of denial, I guess. I don't know.
It's
I don't
fucked
know
up
either.
how fucking like they're looking at these people while he was in prison though, getting sick with all the same symptoms of people that he had previously poisoned out of prison. Why would you not look at the fucking dude that's in there for murder through poison?
Right.
It's so fucked up, man.
Yeah, I mean, he should have done the whole 15, and then they should have said, you know what? This guy just needs to be committed because he's fucking
Yeah.
whacked, and just kept him
Right.
there. But
Yeah.
I know it's easy to say that,
But
but
instead,
still.
he's 23 years old, and
Right, out on the
he's
street.
23, and then with his sister Winifred, she comes
Yeah.
and fucking says, "You can live with me and my husband.
Right.
We'll take you in." So
Yeah.
that was very That was nice of her, but man,
Yeah,
probably not a
bad
great
call. Bad call. And so yeah, they told him they were going to keep an eye on him, so he was good at first, but very shortly after that, he starts back to his ways, getting his hands on some poisons and doing his thing. So he did make an attempt to get some poison from a local chemist, but was unsuccessful. So, like you said, Chris, he
Do you
provide-
think?
what's that?
Do you think his favorite band is Poison with Bret Michaels?
No, I think it's My Chemical Romance. I
Oh
think.
shit! all right.
So he tries to get some shit, but he can't. So, like Chris was saying earlier, provides the false fucking paperwork, convinces this guy to sell him the antimony. He would go back time and time again. He gets some thallium, claiming he's using it for studies.
It's like one of his favorites too.
Yeah, those are his two.
Not Valium.
Thallium. That's right. He is very good at convincing people, which we've seen before with some of these serial killers. I mean, there's so many. Gacy, Bundy. They're very convincing. They're very
Charismatic.
personable, charismatic, but yet turn on that other side, the serial killer side, and holy
just like-
fucking shit,
They do the BTK. They cube it in.
That's right. Cubing. That's right.
Cuban. Yo, I'm Cuban, B.
Now, Chris.
Human being.
Cuban B.
Chris Graham has taken some classes now. He's trying to get himself an education.
Yeah.
He's staying at this hostel, and
The-
what
the
happens
hos-
there?
The hostel is fun. Have you seen that movie? No.
I have. It's not fun at all.
I know.
I don't want to stay there.
But there's this dude, he's like 34, he's a fucking footballer in American language. That's soccer.
That's right. Don't get mad, UK. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this dude Trevor Sparks, he's at the hostel with him, but Graham fucking poisoned the shit out of him too with the
Antimony.
I don't know how to pronounce.
I know
this
it's a
shit,
weird.
man.
It's a weird one.
But so he goes all through all these symptoms. His fucking skin hurts, his legs like pins and needles. It's like, is it like your neuropathy?
It's very
Like-
similar
like-
to that. It's what it's up. Pins and
The
needles.
pins and needles thing?
Yeah.
But his balls are hurting too,
Yeah.
which no dude wants that.
Nobody does.
No dude wants that.
No.
Balls hurting sucks.
Yes.
Dude, oh my god, we were watching one of the documentaries about this, and fucking they were saying what you guys are talking about right now, the severe scrotal pain.
Right.
And I looked at Stephanie and I said, now that's a fucking band.
That's
man.
a
She
good
was like,
band.
yeah,
Scrotal
that's a good
pain,
one.
severe scrotal pain. Nice.
Severe scrotal
It's like
pain.
cock and ball torture.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I
That's
watch these documentaries all the time, and I hear band names like, "Oh yeah, abuse
Yeah,
of
yeah.
corpse." One guy was arrested for abuse of corpse, not of a corpse. Abuse of
Yeah.
corpse. Like, there's a good
That's
fucking band name right
Abuse
there.
of corpse.
Exactly, abuse
But yeah,
of corpse.
he's
It's
going through
badass.
all that shit. He fucking going through some fucking, like I said, nut pain, body
Yeah,
pain,
bad.
fucking, like skin. Like, was it him or whatever? Like, couldn't even like bear the fucking.
That
feeling
was
of
a guy he worked with, but yeah, that's the other guy. It was the weight of the sheets.
The weight of the sheet
was
was
excruciating.
just yeah.
really
And, but
bad.
like this Trevor dude, he survived, but it fucked his life up so goddamn much that he
could
was
never.
never able to play soccer again. He was just like in constant misery his whole life after
Yeah.
this poisonings that he got.
Yeah, so like we were saying, not only the ones he killed, you know, obviously they're dead, but
Right.
a lot of these people were fucked up.
Yeah, a
for
lot of
life.
these people's lives in general are just fucked up, man.
Right.
So, and I think was it him, the Trevor dude, that it fucked with him so much it just drove him suicidal and he killed himself eventually. And there was, I may not have been
That
this
seems
guy.
to ring a bell, but I'm not sure.
I don't know if it was him, but yeah, like the pain and everything about his life just drove him to that point.
Yeah,
like,
it's terrible.
which
man.
if you cause somebody so much bodily harm and so much bodily pain that they end up just like, I can't deal with what is happening to my body anymore because of what this person did.
Right.
I'm just going to kill myself. I almost consider that murder because you caused
Oh yeah.
this. You made this happen. Like,
Do you think it's better to have your homie just fucking make you paralyzed from the neck down so then you're not in pain? Which one's
We talking
worse, I
Dr.
guess,
Death
is what-
over
yeah,
here?
go get some spinal
Yeah,
surgery
yeah.
in Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucked
Be
up.
like, at least he didn't leave his buddy in pain. He just left him helpless.
That's
It's
right.
totally
yeah,
helpless.
exactly. Decapitated, for fuck's sake.
yeah.
Now, Graham gets a job at a laboratory, Joey. What the fuck is the deal with this in Bovington, England? One of two places
how-
in England that you could get thallium. There's two places
Yeah,
in
he's
England.
looking through the goddamn want ads and he sees fucking, there's only two places in this whole fucking country that fucking have thallium. I know where they both are. This place is hiring. I guess I'll just go get a job at
Right.
this laboratory.
And they hires
They
it.
don't even give a
It's
fuck.
like a
apparently.
musician getting a
Yeah.
job at like Guitar Center or something. You know what I mean? You're like, fuck yeah, I can get
What
shit.
was his fucking references?
I don't know.
That's
I'm
good.
saying, what was his references?
I don't know. I
Well,
just
I do-
got out of a mental hospital.
No, I do remember they was looking at his fucking work history and how there's that fucking whole thing. He's like, basically said, I went through a mental breakdown after my mom died, and I
Right.
fucking. So it's like, oh, that's all you got to do is just say something. Like,
Yeah, but, and you got to think, guys. This was, obviously
The
a long, the early '70s.
Yeah.
It's a different time, but
Oh, yeah,
it does
yeah.
seem absurd though that they would have been like, "Where were you?" But probably not a good idea for this guy to be working there,
Definitely.
and his fucking probation officer doesn't check on him. Because you would think the prison system,
that's a good probation officer right there. Don't
Would-
check on me, man.
would go check and see where is he working. You know
As
what
a
I mean?
person that's been on probation, that's
He
a
was
good
probably
probation
afraid he was
officer.
going to get poisoned.
That's
I
the
mean, that
truth,
makes
man.
sense. Yeah.
That's the truth.
I'm
You're
gonna
probably
go
like,
check
Fuck
out-
that dude.
I'm gonna go check him out, and he's gonna offer me a drink, and I fucking be like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly.
Hell no.
So his coworkers thought he was weird. That's no big surprise. He's moody, dark, and loved to talk about Poison, not the band, the Nazis, and famous murderers. So I think he might have liked some Murder Metal Mayhem,
I mean, I would not want to drink anything if he was here doing a
No,
podcast with us.
I
I'd be
wouldn't
like,
want him
"Mm,
next to me. That's
I'm
for
good."
sure. No. But he told them he was a failed chemist. So when that kind of stuff came up, it wouldn't seem so odd that he knew a little bit about it.
As a failed chemist, why would you want him working in your lab? You're a failed chemist.
That's a
Yeah,
good
but
point.
he was
Oh.
saying it wink wink style.
He got his hands on a large supply of thallium. Gee, go wonder, but it's not something you can taste, which is what makes it so dangerous, and this is a former rat poison. One of his duties at the lab was to make tea for the staff and distribute it.
That is the worst
Wow.
job for this guy.
Like, what the fuck, man? This guy's got like the dream job at this thallium, basically, factory.
Right.
And
that's
his
his
job is
go-to
to
poison.
make tea for the fucking workers. Like, what?
Jesus
My God.
Christ,
Like,
man.
one phone call to Broadmoor could have fucking saved all this fucking grief, right? I mean, seriously.
Like, seriously. Like,
Unbelievable with this shit. So-
how did he get locked in on such a golden opportunity
I
like
don't
that?
know. He's the teacup poisoner, Chris. I mean, that's why, I guess.
You want a spot of tea?
So he would poison the others at the lab. Gee, go figure. Stomach pain, same bullshit. They would call it the Bovington bug.
Yeah.
Because they're in the town of Bovington and this is going on. And Graham has just got to be just whacking it to that kind of shit.
Oh, dude, he's like sitting
There's
there
no
thinking,
way.
like, I'm doing all this shit, dude. It's like you said, he's probably jerking off every night, like, oh, this makes me hot. He's like,
As Les would say, he was fucking reverse overhand fucking jerking and shit. That's how he was. That's how he was jerking it.
dude, motherfucking this Bovington bug, though, dude, like, they're talking about as a water supply.
That sounds like a fucking dance.
Doesn't it?
Do the Bovington bug.
I mean, I can see that, like the 60s or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
Bovington bug, you're dancing, then you bend over and puke because you're writhing.
you fucking diarrhea shit
Maybe
all
that's
over
what
the
Molly
place.
was doing out in the yard was the Bovington bug.
Yeah, these motherfuckers
Oh,
are
my
saying this whole
God.
fucking bug is from the goddamn
The water.
the water from this radioactive fucking waste from the fucking inactive military facility that was
Right.
nearby. So, I mean, I could see that, how you would think that.
Yeah.
Like, you got a radioactive, inactive military facility. All this radiation going to be seeping into the ground.
Right.
So I could see how motherfuckers could think that. But still, at the same time, you got this fucking known poisoner
Yeah,
that's been
this
doing
failed
it since
chemist.
he's a goddamn 10-year-old motherfucker.
Exactly.
Like, come on,
And
put
he's
some thought into
serving-
this, man.
serving tea.
He's fucking straight told people, like, oh, I've killed this person. I tried to kill this people. I know how to take that plant or whatever.
Yeah.
I know how to do all this,
I
and you
know.
get the same reaction. Why would you
unbelievable.
not check that shit out,
It's
dude?
unfucking believable that he slips through the cracks. Joey, it is amazing how many times, though, we see the police just, I don't know if it's just from being stretched too far, overworked, not giving a fuck. Hey, I'm not getting paid to deal with this kind of nonsense. What do you think is going on here? I mean, we have done some cases recently
know.
that are so bad like
Yeah.
this. Mark Dutroux, Unterweger. I mean, it's like, what the fuck?
In this situation, I mean, yeah, during the investigations, the police are fucking up. Also, the fucking judicial system itself is fucking up. The
Right.
correctional officers are fucking up. The psychiatrists are fucking up. Like, it seems like this dude has every fucking opportunity in the world to slip through the cracks. And
Right.
this guy's a very smart guy. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but this is just fucking ridiculous.
It is. It really is. So it's just unbelievable that all this shit happened. Perfect storm here with this dude. Graham ends up murdering a 59-year-old coworker, Bob Eagle, who is a war veteran. Who is a war veteran. He was friendly to Graham Young, and they get into lots of conversations about Bob's war experiences. And he was poisoned with thallium in his tea, and the condition got worse very quickly. And this motherfucker is calling the hospital for updates on the guy's condition. Like,
It's like, hey, how's he doing, man? Looking out for my
This
homie.
dude is ruthless.
Yeah,
he
he's just looking out
is.
for my homie, bro.
Doesn't give a shit. This was the same shit Saddam Hussein used on his political enemies. So, I mean, if
Jesus
this shit was
Christ.
being used that many years later by that crazy bastard, this is some devious fucking shit here. I'm sure Graham was just loving it, writing this shit down in his journals, doing his studies and all this shit and how it affect people. It's staggering. It really is. Bob dies of this in the hospital. Graham suggests to the wife to have the body cremated, and then not to just ratchet the creepiness up just a little more. He goes to the crematorium to watch them do it.
He has got
Wow,
some issues.
that is so fucked up. Jesus Christ.
Oh my
Graham
God,
would
dude.
slow down some after the incident with Bob, but he's still poisoning his coworkers. There's one lady, Diana Smart, who was poisoned and it found to be in Graham's notes about how he sent her home with poison and he wished he would have given her more since she didn't die. So,
Dude,
he was
what
trying to kill him too. You know?
What was the one when he was locked up? He even wrote his sister about how, like, he was locked up with a dude, killed the dude. The dude ended up dying, whatever. But he wrote his sister talking about how
And
much
they said, no, it was a fucking suicide.
Yeah, they're talking about how much how much
Right.
he hated
Yeah.
how he snored at night.
Oh, wow.
Like, this dude snored a lot, and then he ends up dying from. It wasn't poisoning. I don't know, but dude, the whole shit. Like, this guy got away with so fucking much. I think.
Right.
I think he got away with more than he did.
Yeah, and you were talking about this one, Chris. The guy at work, another guy, I don't have his name here, but the weight of the sheets was excruciating. Now,
Yeah.
I've got neuropathy really bad. That's one of the reasons I wear this brace on my leg. I don't have it like that, but I have had it where I have to take the sheets off me because even just it rubbing
fucking
it hurts.
doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So I
makes you
mean,
feel
I
fucked
get
up.
it.
Yeah.
I get it. But mine isn't quite to that point. But thank God. But yeah, it's fucking brutal. And Chris, with some of the male victims,
Their dick didn't work no more
that's right.
ever
No, so that is
at all.
definitely hitting.
And they
below
were
the
like
belt.
young too, like fucking like in their teens or early 20s or whatever.
right?
Like never ever worked again. Just impotent their entire fucking life.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
couldn't
really
do
fucked
anything. And
up.
that's not. Look, I'm getting old, but no, I couldn't even imagine that. Like, this dude's fucking your whole life up. It isn't just the pain of everything, but everything about anything you could do in the future of your life.
Right.
This dude just fucked up.
Exactly. Now, Joey, the last one of his victims is old Fred Biggs. What happened to him?
He was one of the managers at the lab that he worked at. So again, this is the second time
Right.
that it's a coworker
Right.
of his. Because as we know with old fucking Graham Young, he likes to fucking watch and document what's going on.
Right.
So that's what's happening. You know, they say it's the Bovington bug. They go to the hospital with all these symptoms. He can't speak. He can't fucking breathe. He's all fucked up. And then, to fucking make it even better, his skin just starts fucking peeling
Oh
off.
my
Could you
God.
even
Because
imagine
fucking
that
the
shit?
chemicals burning through his
Jesus
epidermis.
Christ.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's fucking crazy. So Graham, in classic fashion, continues to call up there, call his wife, try to find updates on what's going on. He's sitting there with a fucking notepad and pen just writing everything down. You know that.
Right.
I don't know. Crazy.
It is. And the whole calling the wife for updates, like he was calling the hospital for the other guy, it's like, how
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
creepy, man, with this dude, just fucking out of control. So the shit starts finally unraveling with this dude. The laboratory launches an investigation with the company doctor who starts meeting with staff. And during the meeting, he gets into an argument with Graham, who doesn't agree with him. And later he meets with him and discusses the facts and is just blown away at how knowledgeable this guy is about toxicology and poisons. So he doesn't even like downplay it. So he's not the obvious suspect.
No,
he's got to brag. He's got
talking
this
about
ego, fucking out of control ego is just unbelievable with this dude.
Could you imagine that though? You've been through all this fucking college and shit, like, and going through all these classes, and then you got this dude from the time he's 10 years old just going to the library and messing with chemicals, schooling you on your shit.
Right.
Like, why are you fucking doing the shit you're doing and not being a professor teaching things to do good?
Yeah.
You're out here just fucking murdering.
Yeah, go cure cancer,
Yeah, go
motherfucker,
do
you know?
something with your
Jesus
knowledge,
Christ.
dude.
So
It makes no sense.
That's why he was so fucking pissed that he wasn't around whenever fucking Hitler was around, because he could have worked for him.
Oh, you know
no
that.
education, and got to fucking experiment in the fucking most craziest ways.
Oh yeah, he would have had a lot more than 150 swastikas, though, Joey.
He would have had the whole fucking
Oh yeah.
goddamn Germany era.
Oh God, yeah. So he's got to talk shit, and that raises suspicion, of course. And he gets his ass arrested at the home of his aunt and uncle in Kent, and that's November of 1971. No poison, though, found on him, and he was heard asking the cops,
That's weird.
"Which one are you doing me for?"
Yeah.
So
Which one
not
you get- yeah,
exactly
he did
words
say
of
that.
an innocent
He's like,
man.
which one you kept picking me up for? Because I got a list.
I got a list here. I got these journals. They would find all sorts of poisons, though, at his apartment or wherever he was
Dollar,
staying.
man.
Thallium, antimony, or antimony, whatever. I'm fucking second guessing myself. 200
Anti-money. I'm going to call it anti-money.
antimony.
Antimony.
Antimony. 200 times the lethal dose of each of these fucking medicines. My
Which is
God.
fucking stupid.
Yeah. He's
That's like
got
where
journals.
Mudvayne got the name for LD50.
right. He's finding these. They find all these journals, so he's got all the detail. I mean, ridiculous. I mean, those are the biggest pieces of evidence against him. I mean, it's hard to refute his own fucking written word, and I would wonder what the hell would those things go for on the fucking
Oh
market.
my God! If you could find
Could
his
you
journals
imagine
right
that?
now for sale,
Wow.
I'm selling my soul.
I'd even like to see just
I
a
wanted to pay for
reprinted version.
I would,
That'd be
dude.
cool.
Actually, a reprint. I never actually thought about looking up
wonder.
if there's any kind of.
Yeah,
I'd be
freedom
interested
of
myself,
information.
honestly.
I don't know how that
It might
would
give
work.
me an idea.
So Chris, he would eventually
I wonder how many fucking.
journals.
I wonder how many pages of journals.
There had
Yeah,
to be a
that's what I
bunch.
wonder.
There had to be
Because
a
he was
bunch
doing
of-
it from the time he's fucking 10.
Yeah, I would think at least like a tub,
Yeah.
a tub full of them. And
Right,
Chris, he
yeah.
would eventually confess to all the shit he'd been doing, and he brags to the cops
Yeah.
about how he committed that perfect murder with
With his
Molly.
stepmom. And, like, I think, like what he said when his mom died in the car accident. Well, he was
Well, she
young-
died,
he
but
was
they
young-
thought it was an accident, like Joey said. She hit her head.
Right. But the fact that his quote is, and I quote, I cease to see them as victims, but as human guinea pigs.
Right.
Like,
About his own dad and his sister.
well,
That's fucked
right. Like,
up. On top of all those other people.
if you're experimenting with killing people and you look at your own dad or sister, what?
Yeah, as a human.
Now, he
guinea
never
pig.
had any children, right?
No.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking good.
Right.
But, dude, either way, you look at your parents, your sister, aunts, co-workers, friends,
That's fucked
and
up.
they're no longer human. And like in his eyes, they were no longer human. They're just like,
Right.
how do I make my experiments work on this guinea pig?
Right.
And I think guinea pigs get a bad rap.
They do.
Like, you go to the pet store, they're all a little cute and fuzzy and shit. The fuck, man?
So Joey, in 1972, he gets charged with 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, and 4 counts of administering poison with the intent to injure. So how does that go for him?
Well, he fucking pleads not guilty for sure.
Right.
He's gonna fucking go up against them, and he's gonna argue all of their fucking medical evidence with his fucking, knowledge, and he's gonna fucking try to outplay them in the fucking brain field.
Right.
But it doesn't fucking happen because the jury only deliberated for like an hour and a half, and then they fucking come back and fucking he's found guilty. But only the 2 counts of administering the poison. I don't know why they didn't find him guilty on all of them, but it didn't matter anyway because he gets life for it.
Right. Yeah, definitely not going to go well. Doesn't take him long, though, to come back with that verdict. Hour and 38 minutes, and boom.
Yeah, less than 2 hours. And motherfucker says, I don't want to go back to the fucking hospital.
Yeah.
Just put me in the joint.
Yeah, he wants to go to a regular prison, which surprised me, but he gets sent to Parkhurst, which we're going to talk about, a famous person that's that ties into our Killer Cage match tonight.
Yeah, which is fucked up.
I'm surprised that he was given a choice if he wanted to go to one or the other.
Me too. I would have sent him to where he did want to go.
Anytime you've been locked up, did you get a choice of where you wanted to go?
Right, yeah.
You didn't do something bad enough.
No.
His love of poisons, though, didn't stop at prison. He's found to have made a concoction. This blows my mind. A concoction with several cleaning chemicals. And I read somewhere else after I did the notes that they tried to use a chemist, like a real chemist, to backwards engineer how he did what he did and to counteract
and they're
it.
like, I can't
they
do
couldn't do it.
I don't know what he did.
So they don't know how the fuck he did
This
this.
is a fucking poisoning genius.
Cleaning chemicals at the prison. I see that he was buddies with the Moores murderer.
Yeah,
the one,
Ian Brady.
Ian Brady, the other half, and we've got Myra Hindley.
We got Myra Hindley on the fucking cage match tonight.
How crazy is that? But that book I got that took me fucking forever to find, The Gates of Janus by Ian Brady, is excellent. There's a whole chapter, that's actually the first chapter, is on Graham Young. And he says that Graham was asexual, never liked talking about women or sex, found it very uninteresting.
I don't care. I just want to make poison and kill people.
And talk about Hitler.
And talk about Hitler and famous
mustache.
serial killers.
So I did read parts of that book. I know we talked about it's on the list, but eventually...
Goddamn, sometimes I feel like we might be serial killers sometimes. All we like to talk about is serial killers. And
Right?
I'm right here.
But we've got, that book is on the list to do maybe as a bonus episode because it is interesting, a serial killer writing a book about serial killers. So...
Fuck yeah.
After his arrest, there were some copycat poisoners there in England. There was a 16-year-old Japanese schoolgirl who poisoned her mother with Valium after reading about Graham Young and seeing the movie, The Young Poisoner's Handbook.
I'm curious. I haven't seen that.
I haven't either, which
you
is
seen that,
loosely
Joey?
based on him.
No, I've never seen it, but I don't think it was too factual.
Yeah, I don't.
I can only imagine it was just loosely based.
Right.
Yeah.
There was also a man who
right.
killed himself after finding out about Young. He worked with them at the lab. Maybe this is the one you were thinking about, Chris. And he claimed to have been suffering horrible for years.
Yeah. It just
So,
he
yeah,
couldn't
he
take
did-
it anymore. He just
killed
got
himself.
to the point
It's
I
fucked
can't
up.
take this.
Chris, I saw at the trial, though, Graham tells a reporter something. What is he?
He's like, hey, yo, you know that, what's her name? Madam what is it?
Tussaud or
yeah,
Tussaud
whatever.
or whatever.
The fucking House of Horrors. Like, y'all need to make a fucking wax sculpture of me. Like I'm a Hollywood fucking privileged person.
Exactly.
Put it in there.
And eventually he gets his wish, and he gets put next to his boyhood idol,
George Hugh.
George High. I spelled it
Oh, is
wrong
it?
in your
Oh,
notes.
whatever.
It's Haigh, but
He's the acid bath murderer.
True crime fans would know him as the acid bath murderer.
And we
He's
need to do
definitely on
that
the
shit,
list.
dude, for real. That
He was brutal.
motherfucker. Holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, that's
we
definitely
need
a
to do the
must
acid
do.
bath.
So maybe we'll start the new year out with the acid bath murder. That
I
might
mean,
be
I wouldn't be
fucking cool.
opposed. That's fucked up right
Yeah.
there.
So he murdered 6 people in the 1940s, but the whole acid to get rid of the bodies was pretty cutting edge for the time. Definitely one we're going to do. Saw an interview with a former inmate who said they were scared to death of this fucking guy. Nobody wanted to sit near him. He just fucking made everybody nervous.
Yeah, I can, dude. Come on,
I
man.
could see it, man.
Like this dude could fucking look at a blade of grass and be like, "Ooh, I
Yeah.
can make a little poison out of that."
Yeah.
Sit next to you.
Right. Put it in your
Like
fucking
what
whatever.
the fuck?
So he becomes very isolated, very alone, and he was even approached by some cosmetic companies that wanted him to improve their product.
Yeah, that's not the greatest idea.
No, probably not.
Holy shit! You know, even back in like the fucking like early like 70s and or whatever, like 60s, 70s, motherfucking cosmetic companies are still putting fucking lead in their goddamn lipsticks and shit. Like,
Right.
And now you want this dude that's all out here murdering people with poisons.
One of the companies was from the U.S., and he was fighting to be released to go over there and help and come back. And I'm like,
Jesus
I don't
Christ.
fucking think so.
Why
So-
would you want that?
Exactly. They
Back then,
denied it, but still.
They probably would have fucking. Back then, they probably would have fucking supplied him with animals because back then they used to test all the cosmetics. on
100%. Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
Right. So he winds
He was
up.
over the animals. He wants human suspects.
He
Or
winds
human
up
subjects.
dying in 19. He winds up dying in 1990 at the age of 42 of a heart attack. Oddly, he didn't have any history of heart problems, so you have to wonder: did he do something to kill himself because he was miserable?
Nah.
You know, did he just happen to die of a heart attack like fucking Toy Box and?
I think maybe I mean this
'Cause
is
he's pretty
my-
young,
This
42.
is my opinion. I think like he had a celly or something that found some of his shit, threw it in his fucking drink, poisoned him. He got killed by his own device.
It's very possible,
That's
but
my
you know what
opinion.
makes me wonder is that antimony. It said one of the big things it does is it affects your heart, and I
See?
wonder if him drinking that shit, even himself was affected,
Right.
and it maybe caused him to have an early heart attack.
Oh.
I don't know.
over the long term.
Maybe,
Yeah.
you know, who knows, you know. So, but anyway, very interesting story for sure. And there have been a few documentaries done of him. The movie I mentioned, there are books, not a ton on him. And this is another example of how the system just fails fucking miserably. This guy never should have got out of Broadmoor. The laws are changed now with more sharing of information between agencies to help avoid
Right.
this kind of crap from happening ever again. So, what the fuck?
It is fucked up.
It is. Anything to add to this, guys? On old Graham Young? Did we do it justice?
I'm good with it.
All right, Joey.
Well, I thought so.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I did my research by watching a couple good documentaries. The episode I liked the most was the show Murder Casebook. They did a really good episode with him, which I thought was excellent. The Gates of Janus, I mentioned that book by Ian Brady. There's a whole chapter on Graham Young, really good. There's not a ton out there, but there are things if you want to look, read, whatever. It is a very fascinating case, I think. So now, Joey, we are going to do a hell of an episode next week. We got the old Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Me too, man. The Kentucky Vampire Clan. What the fuck? Their 17-year-old leader, old Rod Farrell, who claimed he was a 500-year-old
fucking-
vampire. He's
Yeah.
1996.
No, this is going to be a great one.
It is going to be great. 1996, he convinced his clan to murder a couple in Florida with crowbars before they hit the road for New Orleans to hit an arcade. that he liked. So what the fuck with this guy? This is one hell of a white trash gone Victorian chic episode. It's going to be great, and it's going to be a fun one to just rip on these idiots. It's just such a fucked up story. And your girlfriend, Joey, Stephanie, when we first met her, she gave me a copy of a book about this, and I've got it set aside to start looking through it. But it is, the one she mentioned to us in the early days, because she's been a listener since the beginning, so that's really cool.
Right. Yeah.
And she's going to come on, and
so she's going to be on the show with us.
Yeah, that'll be really cool. And we'll do that next week. That'll be a good one. But it's a disturbing story, but it's funny just because of the whole Kentucky vampire thing and how seriously they took themselves.
Real quick.
Yeah.
So I was just listening to this podcast the other day. God damn it, I just took it off of my goddamn browser. But I'll look it up. But there was this fucking case I was just listening to about this girl that got murdered and dismembered. Her body parts started floating up in the Mississippi or whatever, who happened to be like one of the suspects who actually went to prison for this shit, happened to be best friends with fucking Zach and Addie from New Orleans. Like,
oh wow,
dude, like I was listening to this, like, hold on, I know that because we covered Zach and Addie,
right,
and fucking, but goddamn, I can't remember. But dude, it just freaked me out. Like, holy shit! Like, because like you hear interviews with her, they're asking her about this other case, and she's like, "Oh, are you talking about my friend Addie?" Fucking,
oh,
and
wow.
it got brought up. I was like, "Holy shit, that's weird. How are you? How are you in two different dismemberment cases?
Right?
Like, what the shit, dude?
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. That was a good episode for sure. So yeah, that'll be a good one next week. Joey, you got any good page a day for us? We're at an hour and a half on Graham Young.
I do.
It's unbelievable we went that long on it, but it's a good story. But what do you got?
All right, so we did the bonus episode, so I had a fucking bunch to pick through, and I had to whittle it down, but I got 3 from page a day this
Word
week.
up, word up.
So the first one that I got is it's about the FBI crime lab that's a fucking huge the biggest fucking lab in the US for sure.
Right.
But it was started in November 24th, 1932, known as the FBI Scientific Crime Detection Laboratory. That's when it officially opened. And the location,
you said 32?
At the time, it was 1932. At the time, it was a one-room lab, and it was chosen because it had the required sink.
Wait.
It initially contained old...
You say sink?
Yeah. Yeah, it had to have a sink. So it had 2 pieces of equipment aside from the sink. It had a microscope and a pseudo-scientific device called a helixometer, purportedly used for examining gun barrels, but really just for show. The lab itself was considered a PR stunt by J. Edgar Hoover, and he proved it with very few. I mean, he hardly gave it any fucking resources or anything. But special agent, for gun barrels. But special agent Charles Apple, the lab's only employee and only scientist in the FBI at the time, he persevered there. The lab solved its first crime, a murder by poisoning. Fucking go figure.
Right.
In 1933, by using typographic and handwriting analysis to ascertain that the note accompanying the poisoned chocolates had been written by the victim's sister.
Wait, go
God damn.
Go back.
He
to
can't. He
that.
can't
In
hear you.
1938.
Yeah, we're just gonna let him go.
Yeah. In 1938, the lab had added polygraph machines and started conducting controversial lie detection tests. And at that time, there was about 200 pieces of evidence that passed through the lab per year. but by the 90s, that number multiplied to approximately 200,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Nowadays, the lab currently gets 600 new pieces of criminal evidence every day.
That
that's a
is
huge
crazy.
difference. Like,
It was started as a joke, basically.
That's hilarious.
and now it's like one of the biggest fucking.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Humans are pretty cool. Like if you really
All right, now this one's fucked up. This is about a photosensitive cyber attack. Now, journalist Kurt Eichenwald, he was on the receiving end of a particularly cruel cyber attack after following former Marine John Rain Ravello. He took issue with one of Eichenwald's tweets about the 2016 election. So Ravello sent Eichenwald, who he had been public about his struggles with photosensitive epilepsy. He sent him a message with a GIF that had a strobe light, and it read, "You deserve a seizure for your post." And the GIF caused Eichenwald to have an 8-minute seizure.
Wow.
Luckily, his wife found him and called 911 to save him in time. But the emotional and physical after effects of the attack were severe.
No, I'm not gonna lie. That's a great
Ravello-
fucking idea. Like, he's got epilepsy. And he's like, I'm gonna fuck with
Yeah.
this dude. Bah.
try and kill him.
Yeah.
That way.
But so Ravello, he didn't do much to hide his actions though. He sent messages to other Twitter users saying, "I hope this sends him into a seizure, and let's see if he dies." Ravello was initially charged with cyberstalking, and then later they upgraded it to aggravated assault. Now, despite this charge, his attack inspired other extreme internet trolls to start hitting up Eichenwald, and he got dozens more strobe gifts. And in November, which is National Epilepsy Awareness Month
Right.
in 2019,
Strobe gifts.
hackers sent strobe gifts to thousands of Epilepsy Foundation followers in an attempt to trigger seizures.
That's fucking crazy.
That's
dude.
crazy.
I mean,
That's
I'm
crazy.
not gonna lie. That's pretty fucked up. Yeah, you got a problem with this one dude, but at the same time, why would you do that to other epileptics and whatnot?
But at the same
Wow.
time,
Yeah, it's
you
fucked up
use
though. Yeah,
therapy,
that's
Page a
weird.
day, man.
All right, so I got this last one. Yeah, page a day. So this is the last one. Now this one's a little more beefy, but this one's fucking really good. And for our listener Shane Borgia up in fucking Canada, maybe he can chime in and he can tell us a little about this because this happened up there.
Nice.
So this is about the Starlight Tours. So this is in Saskatchewan, Canada, early 2000. There's just bodies piling up in this place on the outskirts of town, frozen to death. Dan Zazreski, who's a reporter working for the Star Phoenix newspaper, he's assigned to look into one of the deaths and write an article about the safety practices in the climate that they're in, because this can get like 40 degrees Celsius, or negative 40, I'm sorry, in the winter weather, which is fucking, I mean, that's just dangerous.
Right.
I would want to die.
But while he's doing the reporting for this, he gets a tip. He gets a tip that the city police had been dropping First Nations people off on the outskirts of town forever. So Zanzreski,
So
he
basically
begins to
like
investigate
indigenous?
the death of Lawrence Wet. Yeah, exactly. So Zanzreski begins to investigate the death of Lawrence Wegner, which is a local social work student and First Nations member. His body's found on February 3rd, frozen to death in a remote industrial area, but he had gone missing 3 days earlier. Wegner was last seen by his aunt and cousin after knocking on their door the night of his disappearance. He was wearing only a shirt and jeans and yelling, "Pizza, pizza." They were worried because he was so drunk, so they called the police to help. They told her that someone else had already called to complain, and the police had already been dispatched to look for him. And like I said, and then fucking the next time you see him, he's fucking frozen to death on the outskirts of town. So he wasn't the first. He wasn't the first or last man found frozen to death, specifically in that remote area far from town. Less than a week earlier, the frozen body of First Nations man Rodney Nastus was found there shirtless. 10 days before that, Lloyd Dustyhorn was found frozen to death in Saskatchewan, and he had been in police custody the night before. February 19th, Darcy Dean Ironchild was also found dead from exposure after being released from police custody.
Okay, so
inquest into the deaths of Wegner, Nasus.
Not check on him or what?
Kanye. Shh.
Go ahead, Joey.
Wegner, Nasus, and Dusty Horn, they concluded that all three men died of hypothermia. Ironchild's cause of death was listed as an overdose from the now rare sedative chloral hydrate, which is known as a Mickey Finn or Mickey.
Right.
When Zanzrescu began to report on these deaths, one First Nations man told him, "Oh, that's just a Starlight tour. This isn't a new idea. Police pick someone up for intoxication, drive them somewhere to let them walk it off instead of bringing them to the station. The problem was that they seemed to be doing it in the dead of winter and targeting First Nations people specifically."
It's fucked up.
No, that's stupid.
February. Yeah, this is fucking crazy. So, now, February 4th, 2000, here's a little different case because here's a guy who makes it back. Daryl Knight, he's a member of the Cree Nation. He came forward to say that he too had been dropped off at the edge of town by police, but he made it back alive. In the early hours of January 28th, 2000, police picked up Knight outside of his uncle's residence. He was intoxicated and yelling. He was handcuffed, put in a police cruiser, but he quickly realized that they were driving the opposite direction of the police station. He reported an eerie silence in the car as he was driven to a remote area and told to get out. He was wearing a t-shirt, jeans, a jean jacket, and running shoes. When he expressed his fear that he would freeze to death, one of the officers just said, "That's your problem." Nigel was able to call a taxi from a nearby power station. The officers Dan Hatchin and Ken Munson, they were eventually charged with unlawful confinement and assault. An all-white jury found them guilty only of the unlawful confinement. They were sentenced to 8 months in jail, served about half of that.
Wow.
Daryl Knight's story and the overall pattern of the 2000 Saskatoon freezing deaths, they renewed interest in a cold case in the First Nations tribe, too, of a teen named Neil Stonechild. Stonechild was found dead on November 29, 1990 in a remote field. He had been missing for 4 days and it believed that he died in the early hours of November 25th when the temperatures had dropped to about 18 degrees Fahrenheit, 28 degrees Celsius. He was wearing only one shoe, and he was bruised on his face and around his wrists. After a 3-month investigation, Saskatoon police concluded the Stonechild had been walking from a convenience store to an adult correctional center where he was planning to turn himself in, even though he was a minor. So that makes no fucking sense.
No, that don't make no sense.
In 2000, Stonechild's friend Jason Roy, who had been with him the night that he died, he came forward and said the last time he saw Stonechild alive, Stonechild was handcuffed and bleeding in the back of a police car, screaming for help because he thought the police were going to kill him. Roy and his family eventually were placed in witness protection by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. A 2000 inquiry into Stonechild's death determined that he'd been picked up by the police shortly before his death and found the initial investigation into his death superficial and inadequate. The officers that picked up Stonechild, Larry Hartwig and Brad Senger, they were fired, but no charges were pursued in connection to his death. The inquiry report recommended that Saskatoon police receive in-depth training about race and create an introductory program for Aboriginal candidates and candidates for minority communities for their police services. In June 2003, Police Chief Russell Sabo, he apologized for the deaths on behalf of the whole police service, admitting that it's quite conceivable there were other times, which is fucked up.
Right.
He included an incident in 1976 where there was an officer that was disciplined for driving a First Nations woman to the outskirts of town and abandoning her. In 2016, it was reported that since 2012, references to Starlight Tours on the Saskatoon Police Service page had been deleted several times. In 2016, Saskatoon Police confirmed the section on Starlight Tours was deleted using a computer in the department, but they couldn't pinpoint who deleted it, so nobody was ever fingered in that situation. But yeah, no, that's the Starlight Tours.
Dude, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that would definitely be a good one to do for sure. Yeah, that's fucking crazy, man. All right, well, we have done our...
So, Shane, if you're listening...
Let us know what's
Shane,
up with that, Shane.
Let us
dude.
know.
We would
Starlight
appreciate
Tours,
that,
man. Sounds like a good one. All right, well, we have done our fair share of murdering tonight. I think it's time to crank the metal up.
Fuck yeah, it
So,
is.
Joey, what the fuck do we need to do?
Let's get our metal on.
Just because CK has passed on, he's not done educating the masses. CK will forever be the great metal motherfucker. We're here to stomp poser ass and eradicate the planet of their kind. CK has passed the torch to us, and we will forge the fuck on. In CK's name, we will bestow metal knowledge upon all of you. All right, forever known as the great metal motherfucker,
CK is the motherfucker.
That's right. We do this metal segment for him every week, and we pass around the horns. Physically, I got some goat horns here because it's my week.
Word. Courtney just grabbed some off the table. Here's some more.
So I'm good with these two.
All right, gang,
I
gang.
got 2 horns tonight, literally goat horns, and it's my turn to pick the topic. And so we're going to do that tonight on the Canadian band Immortal Possession. Definitely brutal. They're old school death metal band from Winnipeg, Manitoba. I did a feature on their other project, Votov, earlier this year.
Which are badass.
Very. These guys totally fucking kill it. They started back in 1989 with more of a thrash and death combo. John Duke and Chuck Labossiere, I think that's how you say that. They're the ones that started the band. John's the bass player. Chuck does vocals and guitar. The band released 3 of their early demos, but never put them out on CD, although they were asked about putting their demos on CD. They declined. They didn't think the quality was good enough.
Man, come on. Underground music is where it's at. Release that shit.
Well, they did. They re-recorded it. So there's been some lineup changes, but they have a second guitarist, Lee Arnone, and Derek Kroll, who's the Votov drummer, is their drummer as well. So brutal lineup. They do use other guitar players to do the solos on the album, which is called The Resurrectionist, which is funny because we just did that Burke and Hare episode.
Yeah, I was going to say Resurrection Man and shit. Hell yeah.
And they've got the artwork, Joey. I don't know if you've seen it because the singer Chuck does their art. The album cover is badass, and it's got a grave with a mort safe on it.
Nice.
And I called that out, and Chuck was like, nice. So, yeah, he was all about it. So the reason why they call it The Resurrectionist is because they're resurrecting their old tunes and re-recording them. So that's what it is. 8 songs on the album are from their back catalog they re-recorded. The quality's really good, and they added a 9th song, a new song. It's really good. It's coming out December 9th on CDN Records.
Of course.
I did an interview with them last week. I got a 6-minute clip of that I'm going to play here for you, and this is me talking to John, Chuck, and Derek from Immortal Possession. Which one of you guys wants to explain like how the album came about? And, you know, I know that some of the songs or one of the songs is new, but the rest are from your past catalog of music. So how did this all come to pass?
Like the reason why we wanted to put out the album. He's asking, I think.
Yeah.
Like, well, there's a backstory to this with, like, we have offers, right? Well, people wanted us to put out our demos and stuff, like, you know, the original cassette demos and stuff. And it's like you said back then, like, you know, we go into the studio and we only had a certain amount of time and whatever. Right. And even my own personal skills were like, shitty back then and whatever. We learned so much through the years. So we really wanted to record the songs the way we wanted to hear them, like, with better everything. Like, you know, all the equipment's better at this point in time. And then, you know, the time to take to record, no rush, like, you know what I mean? Right. You know, that kind of thing. And we thought, it'd be like nice to be able to put out these songs because they're really good songs. And hey, why not? You know, we can do it. Yeah. It's our own stuff. So that's cool. Why, you know, I believe we wanted to do it. And plus, it's really fun to play these songs and to perform them as well. So why not? We could do it.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
we had a particular vision for how we wanted these songs to sound, and re-releasing the demos, it just
Didn't seem appealing to these guys.
no, not at all. And to be quite honest, after hearing Derek play and playing with him and everything, we were like, this is the guy who's going to bring that vision to life and help us make this the record that it was supposed to be 30 years ago.
Right.
And, that was a huge part of it. And then the other thing is, by coincidence, one of the guys that was asking us to re-release the demos was Craig Newman from CDN. And at the time, we were going up to Loud as Hell, and we had no product besides our first Votov album. And so we decided to quickly record a 3-song demo, and we made 100 copies, and we basically used it 2 ways. We were selling it at Loud as Hell, and then the rest of it we were using to shop around to try and get a manufacturing deal. And so that's
how the Immortal Possession contract.
So basically, at the time when Craig had contacted me, we spoke and kind of left it at, we're not really interested. But then after a while, I thought about it, and I was like, hey, this is an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I called him back, and I was like, hey, how would you like to sign 2 bands? And
Very cool.
kind of worked. He signed Botop first. We put out IXXI. And then a few months after that, he signed Immortal Possession, and he just kind of said, take your time, get the album when it's right, get it out. And so it all worked out perfect.
That's killer, man. Yeah, it's I love the DVD, that I bought from you with these songs on it. You guys did, and you put that together, Chuck? That was really well done. Yeah. I love the GoPros. The way you guys did it was really cool.
Yeah, we had a buddy of ours that did. The guy who runs the cameras for the mass murder video and all that. He's a friend of ours, Dylan Bailey, and he came in for that particular night because we needed to.
Nice camera angles.
We wanted some good cameras and some more camera angles. You know what I mean, to work on. And for that, I don't know if you know, but for that, we actually did the whole set twice in a row.
Yeah.
And I ended up choosing every song from the first set other than one song I used the second take.
So they're all one-take wonders, just so you know.
Live off the floor in the studio.
And when we did the first run, I was like, big smile. I was like, oh, I'm good now.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I don't care if we make a mistake. It doesn't matter.
We did quite good the first round through, yes.
Yeah, that's killer, man. I love that DVD. That's freaking
It's a lot of
really
pressure,
good.
though, because you have to perform well. You have your camera guy with you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, you can't make a mistake with the camera guy right there.
No, you can't.
Now,
funny.
Derek, CDN has some really good bands. How did you guys, John said that, you got a hold of, or Craig got a hold of you guys about doing this, and how has it been working with them so far?
So far it's been good. We're just kind of in the promotional cycle for Mortal Possession right now, so there's
Right.
lots of work to do on our end still too. And
Right.
yeah, no, it's been good so far.
Good,
It's with the IP stuff. It's this time around he hired Metal Devastation PR.
Yeah.
So we're already starting to see some.
So good conversation there with those guys. They're a lot of fun.
Interview. Hell yeah.
A lot of fun talking about CDN Records there. And we talked about Poutine. We talked
Poutine.
about all kinds of
Fucking
good stuff.
Poutine's so goddamn good, though, bro.
I know. And Chuck eats it every day. He eats poutine every day.
God damn.
Yeah, he was talking about some shit you could add to it. So that was a good conversation with those guys. Definitely check them out. That new
Definitely,
album
man.
is killer. So
Immortal Possession. Check them motherfuckers out.
yeah, and tomorrow, the day after this episode comes out, the 50-minute interview, a bonus episode, will be there, so you can check that out.
Yeah.
Now, Joey, what about that Lost Classic? What do you got for us tonight?
For my Lost Classic, I fucking wanted to bring it up. Fucking the band Gorefest and the
Nice.
album Mind Loss. Fucking badass band, death metal, kind of fucking went under the radar. This came out in 1993 on Pavement Records. Just a really fucking badass album. Gorefest, Mind Loss.
Very cool. Very cool. We're eating Pop-Tarts, so if you're wondering why the hell we're...
Fucking Pop-Tarts, baby.
Joey, you got some grape ones tonight, right?
Yeah, man, stoked.
Yeah.
Doing those.
I got the fucking goddamn Eggo.
You got the Eggo, I got the lemon.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, so what's everybody been listening to, Chris?
Hey, bro, you know me. I'm scatterbrained. I'm fucking Skinned, because I love Skinned. I will never not listen to Skinned. Fucking Kill Whitney Dead. Fucking podcasts here and there about different things. Fucking, I love the 911 calls one. Listening to 911 calls and hearing the story about them, I listen to that shit. And it's fucking crazy, dude. But
That's cool.
and then what I'm doing next week, I'll tell you the other one I've been listening to within the past few weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. What about you, Joey?
I've been listening to that fucking Stabbing Extirpated Mortal
Yes, sir.
Process, which is the new one.
I just
I'm
saw
gonna
that.
get a
You tagged
review
us
up
in
for
that post,
one.
Pete. Yeah. Tagged us
hell
in
yeah.
that post, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking
I
sick,
got
man.
I got the physical copy coming on the way too, which I'm stoked on that.
Shit,
Great,
yeah.
man. I've been listening to fucking Faith No More, Angel Dust.
How can you not How can you not listen to that?
I have to yell
Yeah,
that.
and then
That's
along
what
with
my
that,
dad
of course, I was
raised me
listening
on.
a little bit of Mr. Bungle too. So
Fuck yeah, dude. Get it in.
Very cool. I've been
I
listening.
just, also
Go ahead.
I was listening to fucking Future Pile Collection of Butchery because I was stoked because
That's old school.
but a company overseas over in the UK, they put out the vinyl for Collection of Butchery.
Oh, for real?
And-
Like,
yeah, and Sean put up the link, and whenever I went to it, like, it was 20 minutes later, and it was fucking sold out, everything.
Nuh-uh.
And I was
Wow.
like, motherfucker, so I hit up Sean, and I was like, man, are you going to get any? Because I'll buy one straight from you. And he was like, no, but hopefully, they do another press of them. And then, like, fucking an hour later, they were like, oh, there's like 3 or 4 more that are left if anybody wants one, and I fucking hit it up and grabbed it.
did you
Nice.
get it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cost me
fuck
fucking
yeah, homie. Hell yeah.
$40 shipped to the US.
But
I
still,
don't care
you
as
got
far
that
as
shit.
yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I've been listening to this band that I found out about when I interviewed the guys in Immortal Possession called Howler.
Yeah, the first fucking.
Yeah, I played that cut earlier, but that album, Descendants of Evil, is really good. Their album before that is good too. That's as far back as I've gone yet, but they're really good. Immortal Possession, of course, the Resurrectionists, I've been jamming that. And the new Byzantine Black Sea Codex, really, really good. They're very unique. They are heavy, they're progressive, they're all over the place. And they usually do a weird cover or two every album.
You got to.
And this time they did a Coroner song, which was cool. And then they did the song Red Skies by The Fix, which is like an 80s song. You've heard it. When you hear it, you'll know it. But it was like, what a weird song to do. But it's kind of cool. It's definitely, they're different like that. So
Hell yeah.
bands, if you're into metal, you're in a metal band, you want to get...
If you're not into metal and you're listening to this now after this point,
probably in the wrong place.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But a band wants to get a hold of us, Pete at murdermetalmayhem.com. We'll check it out. I had a band just send me something the other day, a progressive band. I'm going to check it out. So thanks for sending them in. And if you want to do it old school, you can mail it in to Murder Metal Mayhem, P.O. Box 554, Hayworth, Illinois, 61745.
Throw in some stickers with
That's
that
right.
shit. We love stickers.
Put them on
man.
the door because we run out of room on the table.
We love stickers. We're old as fuck, but we still love stickers. We're like children with stickers.
Chris,
Hold on.
you.
Let me tell y'all real quick. I know the fucking episode's a little longer, but I'm still gonna tell about the show that fucking I played.
Yes, definitely.
yeah, go ahead.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so I play this show. It's fucking my first time playing a show in the 419.
Fuck yeah.
Pretty awesome. It's at this place called the Polish Ostrich.
I love that name.
Yeah, fucking pretty cool place, man. Fucking, and there were 4 bands. There was me. There was my buddy Sean's band, Alien 666. With Sean, he camps with us at Full Terror.
Yes, he
and shit
does.
now.
He's a
That's
badass
cool.
motherfucker.
Yep. But his band, Alien 666, and then this band, Cerebral Cortex, which is an experimental band from here in Toledo, and then the last band was Involuntary Mortification from Lansing, Michigan. They came down. So the show was fucking fun. It was like a little bit fucking mixture of different styles of metal and shit, which was cool, and it was neat just to meet some of the locals around here and shit.
Yeah.
Had a pretty good time, but it was classic. So while we're in there, and I had seen somebody make a post about the fucking bartender had some fucking it was a biker hoodie on, but it said whatever 419 real big on it, and I went up to her and I told her, I was like, that's the baddest ass hoodie because it's got 419 on it. But anyway, fucking. So I just seen like somebody posting about this earlier, and Pete, I know you know this, Chris, you seen this shit where you're at a fucking metal show and some reason somehow that one person stumbles in there that don't belong, don't know what the fuck's going, but they're just having a fucking blast, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So there's this one ghetto dude, and he's 419 as fuck, and he's up in there, and I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but he is just fucking chilling. And this guy's fucking, like, stoking on the shit, having a good time, but he's, I see him at the bathroom first off. That's where I first see him.
I bet you did.
And he's, yeah, and he's fucking, he's talking to me and shit, fucking whatever, and then he leaves off with, "Hey man, you got $1 I can borrow?" So already I see where this guy's going, you know what I'm saying?
Word.
I go back over and we're watching the bands, and he's fucking having a blast, he's fucking, laughing, and then he's like, man, he goes, "I'm going to go back to my place. I'm going to drink some liquor." And then he's like, "Hey, man, you want to come back to my place with me?" And I was like, hell no.
Fuck no.
Teacup
And
poisoner.
yeah, but he's fucking watching these bands play, and fucking, he gets his phone out, and he was like fucking asking, he was like, "Man, how do I get this thing to record? How do I get this thing to record?" Somebody shows him how to do it, and he's fucking standing there, and he doesn't even hit record, and he's like recording this whole fucking thing, but not recording anything. Yeah, and he's just fucking stoking on it and shit, and fucking, somewhere after that, he's sitting by me again, and he's fucking, laughing it up and everything else, and somehow fucking leads in with, "Hey man, can I borrow $5?"
He goes from
And
1 to 5.
Yeah.
Hey, at least he didn't try to take your shoes or anything.
Oh god! And then the last thing that was so fucking funny is he's sitting there, so like he's up front, fucking recording this shit, and dude, all of a sudden this fucking mosh pit breaks out around this dude, and there's
him.
like. Oh my, no, his fucking face, he turns around, his eyes are fucking so goddamn wide. He's like, "What the fuck is going on?" He fucking comes back over by us. He's like, "Man, I'm going to sit back over here for this shit." And he's fucking, it was a 419 time, but it was a really good show.
That's
so.
great.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm glad you had a good time, dude.
That's cool, dude.
yeah.
Fuck
That's
yeah, man.
awesome. All right, well, Chris, you got the horns next time. Any idea who you're going to do?
I do. I actually tossed it up a little bit, and I know what I'm doing. Next week, I'm going to San Diego. I'm going with the Locust.
Hell yeah, nice.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. All right, very good.
Fuck yeah.
The 666 Club's also good. That's how you can support the show. It's our Patreon, patreon.com/Murder Metal Mayhem. I'll link to that in the episode description. Just $3 a month. And it helps us pay the bills here and get the show off and running.
God damn, motherfucker.
Well, we have done plenty of metal tonight, guys. So, Chris, what the fuck we got to do?
When anybody preaches disunity, tries to pit one of us against the other through class warfare, race hatred, or religious intolerance.
Are you a serial killer couple in need of some relationship counseling? Call us today at 1-800-Killers-Need-Hugs too.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You're Edmund Kemper, the guy who skull fucked his own mother, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to be so vulgar about it, I mean, she was dead, you know.
Okay, and you are Herbert Mullen, the guy who thought killing people would save the state of California?
Yeah, man. You got the doses over there, man?
There you go again, Herbie. Always turning on the acid instead of talking about your feelings. I hate you.
Now, that's not very productive, Edmund. Why do you hate Herbert?
It's just the way he killed his victims. I mean, stringing up intestines and tree branches, that's just sick.
Oh, yeah, man. And throwing darts at your mom's head was any better? You skull fucked her, man.
Here you go again, Herbie, bringing up the past. That's all you do is bring up that stuff and throw it in my face. Why do I even bother?
Gentlemen, please, this isn't getting us anywhere. Wait, Edmund, you threw darts at your mother's head?
Call us at 1-800-Killers-Need-Hugs too, and we can help you sort out your complicated serial killer relationships today.
Oh, going back to 2019 for that gem. Serial killers need hugs.
Yes, they do.
Had CK on there.
Had some of these
Had all
serial
of us
killers
on there.
had hugs. They probably might not have been serial
That's
killers.
right. That's right. So that was a good one. Chris, you were Herb Mullen, and I was Edmund Kemper.
Gang,
and had
gang.
CK on there. So good stuff. Before that, though, Immortal Possession, So Brutal, the song Class Warfare from that new album. So go check them out. All right, so we had said last week, and I know we're crazy late on this episode, but whatever, we're having fun.
Yeah, it's always fun.
So we had decided, Joey, that we were going to do hotel stories. Chris, we all agreed. So, Joey, do you want to go first with your story?
I'll go first. Sure.
All right.
So mine goes back to, I'm going to say 2007 probably. Me and the homie Clay from Cemetery Rapists, we're going to go play a show up in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Death Fest up there, which in and of itself is a whole nother fucking mayhem story, but regardless. So we're headed up there, and we're going to meet our buddy Foo Dog, who lives in fucking Chicago, and he's going to fucking go up with us to the show. So he's actually, I think he drove down to my place in Forest as I was living there then, and we all just drove up together. But anyway, he's telling us, like, back then, Foo Dog, he was like one of my friends that was the most involved in, like, online relationships and meeting people online and all that. I didn't know nothing about that back then. I fucking hardly did any internet shit fucking at all. And so he was the one all about that. So he's telling us, he's like, man, he goes, we should stop at this place, Antioch, which Antioch, Illinois is right on the border of the Wisconsin Illinois border.
Yeah.
And he was like, we should stop up here because I know these females that can come kick it with us and shit. And we're like, oh, yeah, that's what's going on? And he was like, oh, yeah, man, fucking I've been hollering at this girl, yada, yada, yada. So we're like, okay. And now, mind you, like, they're like 18 at the time, like 24. So we're not that old back then, fucking younger. So we drive up to this fucking hotel in Antioch, Illinois, and this fucking place is a fucking shithole, so fucking gnarly, and fucking. But at that time, because we're so young and shit, it's right up our alley because that's all we can afford anyway, you know.
Right.
And fucking,
you got to go where you got to go.
Yeah. And at that time, fucking, I used to show them like how I would party. Like I would there would be different nights or different boozes that we would drink just because they were young and fucking learning this shit and I had already gone through it. So I'm like, okay, on this trip up here to Wisconsin, we're going to drink fucking Mad Dog 2020 or 4040 or whatever. And fucking, I bought a case of Mad Dog and fucking, that's what we drank for like fucking 3 days.
God damn, bro.
That's awful.
So we're up at this fucking shitbag hotel in Antioch, Illinois, drinking Mad Dog and fucking, my buddy's like, oh, the girls are here, the females are here. We're like, oh yeah. So we're all fucking chilling there and shit, and fucking the knock on the door, and fucking Foo Dog opens the door, and the first girl that comes in, she is big. You know what I'm saying? And fucking, she is not very good looking, you know, but she is nothing compared to what comes through after her. The next 2 and 3 girls are just fucking just monstrous and fucking like really, really fucking haggard. I was like, oh my god, we are not
like meth head shit.
With these girls. I mean, it was so bad that I'm pretty sure me and Clay were like straight up laughing while Foo Dog. His eyes when they were walking in, I saw his face every time he was like, oh no, oh shit, because he knew we were gonna fucking just talk mad shit about this.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And still to this day, I'm talking about it. Anyway, I remember the girls were like, hey, we're going to go get something to eat, because of course they were. And fucking, they were like, and they were like, hey, do you want to go with us? And we were like, no, we're going to chill here, you know, we'll meet up with you later. And of course, we never met up with them later. We drank all the Mad Dog up, fucking blacked out. I woke up on the floor with a bunch of fucking potato chip crumbs around me and a bunch of ants crawling all over me.
Nice.
Antioch, Illinois. That's my hotel story.
Hell yeah. Chris, what about you, man?
Man, I feel like I told this before. Because Hank.
Yeah.
All right, so anybody who's new, this is probably an episode from the first, in the 2-digit episodes. But yeah, this is Hank. So he's at the hotel one night, and we were hanging there at work, and motherfuckers, my friends Hank and Steve were hanging at the hotel with me, and we were at work, and so like his cousin, C's cousin came and hang out with us. So like Hank comes hanging out, and he's fucking just passed out. So C's cousin decides he's going to take some of these jalapeno stuffed olives and try and stick one up Hank's asshole. Didn't make Hank very didn't make Hank very fucking happy at all. So like he like wakes up, he's like, no, this ain't happening. What are you doing? Obviously asshole's on fire because you got fucking jalapeno juices in your butthole. That shit's sensitive, bro. That shit's sensitive. So like that shit happens. We like Hank's like, all right, fuck you, motherfucker. I'll get you back. So the next night we get back from work. We're at the hotel. We're hanging out. Fucking C's fucking motherfucking cousin. He ends up passing out. Fucking, because we fucking fed him a bunch of fucking Vicodin. Yeah, we drugged him.
Oh, boy.
We drugged him. We fed him a bunch of Vicodin. He's passed out on the chair. So fucking Hank, he just like, you know what? We're going to do this right now. Watch this. Chris, I got a Sharpie. You ready? I'm like, wait, what am I doing? He's like, I need to draw eyeballs on my balls. Like balls on my balls. So I was like, are you serious, dude? He's like, yeah. So like he pulls his balls like ball sack out. I fucking draw eyeballs on his balls. So he like drops his balls in fucking cousin's fucking eye sockets and drapes his dick along his nose and fucking gave him a Gonzo. Because you know Gonzo from the Muppets? Like fucking
oh my God.
And he just wakes up like, what the fuck? We're like, dude, fuck you, dude. You just got Gonzo.
Wow.
So yeah, that's my hotel story.
Okay. Holy shit. Well, you guys had some good stuff. I've got 3 short stories, so I'll make it quick. The first story is the very first time we used Orbitz or one of those kind of places, to hotels.com or
Yeah,
whatever.
one of them websites.
When
yeah.
I was in Low 12, the first time I ever used one of those, we were going down to Columbia, Missouri. And it was always hard to find a place to stay because the Columbia games, the home, University of Missouri games and so forth, always timed it where they were home and there was nowhere to stay. So anyway, I found us a room, really cheap. I'm talking all this shit. We get there, and this place is fucking nasty. They said there was a pool, but it looked more like a lagoon. Like it was green and like slimy. I mean, there's no way anybody's swimming.
Yeah, nobody's getting in that fucking pool.
Throw a layer on
So we walk in the room, and there's like a little air conditioner, like the size of a, I don't know, a
Smaller
small
than one we have in the studio?
Yes. And it's above the door. So it's dripping on you when you're like trying to get in the room. I'm like, who would put this above the door? And then we went in there and we're like, this place is gross. There were 2 small beds in there. And usually, this is back when we were a 3-piece band, I was, being the bigger guy. I always get my own bed. So that worked out pretty good. And Les and Wes had to like spoon it on the other bed.
Hey, man, living in a hotel sometimes, you've got a spoon.
So anyway, Wes is sitting on one bed and I'm sitting on the other, and we're talking. I think Les is using the bathroom. And I looked above Wes's head, and on the wall above his head, as if somebody was standing on the bed, there's 2 like handprints. Like the motherfucker changed his oil and then went up there and fucked somebody in that bed.
Yeah.
Because
Because that's exactly what happened.
Exactly. And the way Wes was sitting, I'm like, dude, like, you probably don't want to do this, but you need to look behind you. And it was so fucking nasty. So
Hotel rooms are disgusting.
they are. So that's one story. That's one story.
If you can
The
keep your
second-
dick up there.
The second story was when I was staying at a hotel down in, I think, Southern Illinois. I was sitting in a recliner. This is the one I hinted at last week. Sitting in a recliner, and it wasn't that bad of a hotel, but it wasn't real nice. So somewhere, middle, down in the middle, but not real good.
Red top.
So I'm sitting there watching a baseball game on TV, and I'm, the remote's in my lap, and the remote slides down into the cushion.
Oh, yeah. You're talking
So
about
I'm looking at it, and I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm sticking my arm down there, okay? But I need the remote.
Right.
So how do I get out of this recliner? Because it's like fully like out, And, I'm a big dude, so I'm trying to figure out how to gracefully get out of this recliner because I couldn't reach the lever to lower the fucking seat down. So I had to like wrench myself out of it, fuck my back completely up, where I had to cut my trip short because I threw my back
You
out.
talking about you fucked your back up getting out of a chair?
Out of a recliner that was fully extended without touching anything like too far down. You know what I mean? It was funny.
Word.
And then the last one, I was staying at a hotel with some guys that were older. That was the new guy on the job. They were older. And I was staying in a room with the other guy that didn't smoke. And the 2 smokers stayed in one room.
Yeah.
So it was like 2 a.m. We got back from going out. And all of a sudden, I hear my door open. And I hear tss, and they threw a fucking book of firecrackers in the fucking room. So then this fucking Indian dude that was fucking running the joint come running down there freaking the fuck out on me.
There's guns and shit.
And I'm just like, they're firecrackers. And what are you doing lighting firecrackers? And I'm like, I didn't.
Bitch, I didn't do this
I
shit.
said, somebody came in and threw them into my room. And he's like, who was it? And I'm like, I'm not, I'm thinking, I'm not going to tell who it is, but whatever.
That's my homies. Fuck you.
So anyway, so those are my hotel stories. So.
Jesus, I love that shit.
All right, we got a good killer cage match to get to tonight, Chris. We got some listeners who want to say thank you to.
Once again, we have Colin Rogers, Jess Brown, and Ashley Munson coming in with the numbers. What up? Thank you again.
Thank you. And Joey, who do we got fighting tonight?
Harvey Glatman going up against Myra Hindley, which is pretty proper for the night.
Yes, it is.
For sure. Harvey Glatman, kind of a small dude, the Glamour Girl Slayer. So it's interesting because Myra Hindley probably could whip some head. Now, They got a couple of objects, though, Chris, that always makes it fun.
Motherfucking. All right, this says fucking cast iron skillet. What size cast iron skillet?
I don't know.
We're going to go with a 12-inch cast iron skillet.
Okay.
All right. So they got a 12-inch cast iron skillet and a pair of fucking needle-nose pliers like they're the fucking
Bittaker.
toolbox killers.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? So, yeah, that's what they got. 12-inch cast iron and a pair of these motherfuckers right here.
Right, the needle nose
Needle-nose pliers.
That's right. Now, Joey, what about that variable? This is interesting.
The man himself, Andrew Dice Clay.
Yes, sir.
After 6 shots of Jack Daniels.
Oh, boy.
Holy fuck.
That'll be interesting. And the music playing is 17 by Winger. So, one of Joey's jams there.
Fuck yeah, dude.
All right,
yeah.
so Chris, what do you
Stewart.
think, man? Harvey Glattman, Myra Hindley in a cage with
dude.
a 12-inch cast iron skillet, needle nose pliers, Andrew Dice Clay after six shots, and 17 is jamming from fucking Winger.
Oh, dude, I got this. Like, so basically, Glattman, he's pissed off. He's like, why ain't there no fucking shoes? I like shoes. I like 6-inch stilettos, and there ain't no shoes. What the fuck, man? So Glattman's like pissed off. Meanwhile, Myra, she's like, I don't even know what to do with this cast iron skull. I can't cook. I don't know what to do with needing those pliers because I'm not a mechanic. Here comes the Dice Man. He's drunker than shit, dude. Dice Man's like, hey, 12 o'clock, what you doing? Smoke that cigarette. And fucking Dice Man's just like, fuck you, boy. And so fucking, he looks at fucking, no, he's looking at Glattman. He's like, hey, man, you ain't even a real man. You like women's shoes like that bad? What are you doing? And fucking, so he like fucking just takes that fucking goddamn cast iron skillet. He just slaps fucking goddamn Glattman across the fucking head with it and keeps bashing his fucking skull with it. Dice got Glattman down. He looks at fucking goddamn Myra. He's like, now go cook me an egg. Hands her the fucking goddamn skillet.
Oh, wow.
Hands her the skillet. He's like, go cook me an egg. Oh, what's up? That's so fucking Myra. She's like, I don't even know what to do with my life right now. So fucking Dice Man, he grabs the goddamn needle-nose pliers, stabs her in her eye, smokes a cigarette, beats her with the fucking goddamn skillet. Dice Man for the win. And at the same time, he's looking at her, looking at Myra like, she's only 17. 17. She says she's on.
Wow, Joey, I'm trying to hold
Dice
it together.
Man for the win. Dice Man.
Trying to hold it together. Joey, what do you think about this matchup here?
I think whenever the bell rings that Myra Hindley, she's going to go for that fucking cast iron skillet first off.
Because she's a woman. She needs a cook.
Yeah, so she grabs that motherfucker up. And then Harvey Glattman, he's okay grabbing the needle-nose pliers, and they go at each other, and she's fucking bapping him over the head with that goddamn cast iron skillet and trying to fuck him up, and she's kind of weak, so she's not really killing him, but she's getting him, and he's getting her with in her nipples and her clitoris with those needle-nose pliers, and he keeps tweaking her, and he's like tweaking her butthole, and he's doing all kinds of tweaks with the pliers, and the fight's going on, but it's not really fucking doing much. But then all of a sudden, from over in the corner, the Dice Man himself, Ford Fairlane, he gets up drunk, bagooish. He's like, hey. He's like, get the fuck out of here, you motherfuckers fight like some pussies. And he starts telling the fucking most hilarious comedic routine these two have ever heard. So
fuck yeah.
As they're fighting each other, they decide to fucking put their differences aside. And they're so stoked on the Dice Man, they start getting hyped up. And they start fucking banging each other. And Myra Hindley and Glattman are just banging. And he's just rubbing her pussy. And she's juicing all over the Dice Man's hilarious racist jokes. And he's so fucking classic from the 80s. And then, to top it off, the Dice Man says, okay, now this is a death match, but gosh, you motherfuckers, somebody needs to die. So, Ford Fairlane, what he says is, Now, the first one to kill the other one gets this badass Ford Fairlane jacket that I'm wearing, the Dice
Fucking
Man
leather
jacket.
Dice Man jacket.
Oh, man, the Dice Man jacket. That's what's up for grabs in the cage match tonight. She's only 17. You know she's only 17. Harvey Gladman, he don't give a fuck. He needs that leather jacket to get them glamour girls. He starts fucking beating the fuck out of that bitch with them fucking skillet and pliers. And then Gladman, he's going to win because he needs Dice Man's jacket.
Wow.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
I.
Fuck yeah. Good killer cage match tonight. Now,
God damn,
we
dude.
have been talking, guys, about this big matchup, December 27th. The last episode of Murder Metal Mayhem this year.
PP to the face.
We got, all of a sudden, Old Creole, right? He sends us this message talking some shit
Oh
about
my
Punky.
God, dude.
Then last week, Punky responds and fucking calls him old butthole and everything else.
Now we got Pierre Poutine.
Now we got a new one, Chris and Joey. I don't even know what to say about this, but let's let the listeners listen to this fucking craziness that comes in from fucking Canada of all places.
Canada.
I guess.
Well, hello there, Murder Metal Mayhem and the listeners. This is Pierre Poutine, and I wanted to weigh in on all this stuff about Old Creole, Robert Benoit, and the Punky Brooks. I'm a lumberjack by day and the kicker of the ass at night. I eat the poutine for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and wash it down with the Canadian whiskey, eh? I am not fucking around. I'm in the business, eh? He's got no right to be talking out his ass and calling Punky a bitch and all that, eh? That's some kind of next level bullshit right there. I'm taking Punky's side with this one, and we'd be proud to fight alongside him on December 27th in the Toledo. I'm about to bring the 204 down to the 419 and Poutine it up, eh? If that fucker can find a partner to fight us tag team style, I'm down to fight that Old Creole. Ha! He's more like old butthole, am I right, eh? Pierre Poutine, the old PP here, I know some pretty good finishing maneuvers, eh? I will be coming at old butthole hard with the patented a PP smack to the face, eh? So that's about all I have to say on that, eh? I have no doubt that Punky, with Pierre Poutine by his side, will be victorious. Oh,
What the fuck is going on? Pierre Poutine, never even heard of this guy
You
before.
got this Canadian motherfucker straight up coming out of fucking Canada. Fucking goddamn Canada. Going, hitting up a fucking dude from a fucking 419?
Yeah, he
What
wants
the
to fight.
fuck?
He wants to fight with Punky against Old Creole.
Holy shit.
If Old Creole could find a partner. So we need somebody to step up.
We need a partner, man.
So
we
this
need
is
a
gonna
partner
be
for Old
interesting.
Creole because, like,
We'll see. So we'll see next week.
We'll see what's
if
up.
we
We'll
get
see what
we get
happens.
somebody to.
Who in the
Gang,
world? Who in the world could possibly compliment Old Creole, though?
I don't know.
Oh, my
I don't
God,
know.
dude.
It's got to be
We'll
some
figure it
kindred
out,
spirit.
man.
Some
will
kindred
figure it
spirit
out.
to Old Creole. Step up and fight with that man. Punky,
No, I'm looking
Punky
for
and
this shit.
Pierre, man. That's going to be a brutal combination.
Yeah, Punky and Pierre is going to be fucked.
Yeah.
Odd fellas. Odd fellas.
All right, Chris. Last week we started a new segment
Yeah.
and doing some funny town names, and so
I
it's
just
your
came
turn.
up. I just came up with a few
Yeah.
on the spot tonight.
Yeah, it's your
and
turn.
they're going to be Illinois towns, and I don't know how they got their names. I'm just going to talk shit.
All right, that's fine.
So first of all, tonight I know this town. I've been to it. From Illinois, Sandwich, Illinois.
Yeah.
Sandwich.
I went to a Subway there.
Yeah, I imagine you did.
Sandwich
It's
and
called
sandwich.
fucking Sandwich.
Yeah, and I
can
even
only-
said
Did a
that.
sandwich artist make it for you?
Yes.
God damn. But Sandwich is like about 45 minutes to an hour away from where we live. It's just a tiny ass town. But the first time I ever heard that shit, I was like, what? Hold on. Me and you banging your mom together. I don't know. Sandwich? I don't know. It was fucked up. But yeah, so we got Sandwich, Illinois. And all right. Now this one makes me want to dance. This is in Illinois too.
Yeah, I know the one you're going to say.
We're going to go to Disco,
I've
Illinois.
been there.
I don't even know where the fuck it's at.
On the western end, there's no sign. I drove to it for work. I had to drive by it. And I drove through it because I wanted to take a picture of the sign. But there's no sign. It's like an unincorporated.
For real?
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Oh, my God.
It was such a letdown. I wanted to go to the Disco Town Hall.
I just want to
wanted
know
see it.
I just want to know if when the sun comes up, if it's like a mirror ball, like is it like dun, dun,
No. There's like three houses and a grain elevator, and that's what's
so there's
there.
Disco, Illinois, and then there's this one right here. What the fuck is this? Chicken Bristol.
Chicken Bristol. Wow.
Chicken
okay.
Bristol.
Okay.
All I'm gonna say, you don't know how to spell gristle. Because chicken gristle is a real thing. When you're eating some chicken and you get that stringy shit, that's gristle. that chicken gristle. But there's a town in Illinois called Chicken Bristol. It's fucking weird.
That is strange.
This one right here is a porno Illinois town. Chicken Gap.
Chicken Gap. Okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It was Chicken Bristol, but Bone Gap.
A Bone Gap.
Bone Gap. That's a porno town. Like, you're going to get boned and gapped, a.k.a. gaped, at the same time. So that's a weird-ass town. And this one right here is a goofy-ass name. It's literally called Goofy Ridge.
Yeah, I've
Illinois.
been there, too.
Goofy fucking Ridge, Illinois.
Goofy Ridge, yeah, over by Peoria, yeah.
Oh, is that by Peoria?
Yeah.
I didn't even fucking know that.
Oh,
For
yeah,
real?
Yeah.
I never even fucking knew that.
In that general area.
That's fucked up.
In that general area.
And then there's one of my favorite Illinois town names. Joey knows what it is. What's it called?
I don't know.
Goreville.
Fairbury?
Goreville.
Oh, Goreville, yeah.
Goreville.
Yeah,
Goreville.
I've taken pictures at the Goreville sign.
I have to.
If you're going down that way, you can also go to Redbud, Illinois.
Redbud.
I've been there.
Hell yeah. Right.
I've been in
I smoked
Redbud.
weed in their cemetery when I was a kid.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Cemetery.
But yeah, no, I'm sorry, but Goofy Ridge?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Come on, man.
I never heard of that one.
Yeah,
I never
that's a
knew
good
that
one. All right.
Fuck yeah, but there's my
Some
towns.
good town names.
There's
So,
my
Joey,
towns.
it'll be your turn next week. So
Yeah, I got it.
Very cool.
One thing into this. I wasn't going to be on the mic.
Oh, you've been on it all night.
Oh, wait, what?
Oh, what you got?
Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
We
Yeah.
know all about
That's
Truth or
right.
Consequences.
Toy box.
Oh, yeah.
Toy
It's
box.
a little town, but it's also
All right.
story town.
So thanks to everybody that came out to see me at the library in Peoria this Saturday. That was cool. And you can buy my books at petealtieri.com. I'll link to that in the episode description. The new Murder Metal Mayhem site, we mentioned
The
that.
website looking
MurderMetalMayhem.com. So go check it
Yeah,
out.
looking good.
Thank you. The YouTube channel is always a good place to check things out. I got some new stuff up there. So, all right. Well, we are going late tonight, but we did plenty of mayhem, plenty of it tonight. So let's hit that fucking outro. Hell yeah. Some new Byzantine, the song Unhook Me from their new album, Black Sea Codex.
Those dudes are so badass at FTA when they played there, dude.
Yeah, that's right. They did play there. We played with them at the Indianapolis Metal Fest several years ago. Great band, really good. Just great dudes, too, from West Virginia. So good
Hell yeah.
shit. Big thanks to John, Chuck, and Derek from Immortal Possession for doing the interview with me. Again, tomorrow, Friday, the day after this episode comes out, the full bonus episode comes out with that 60-minute, nearly 60-minute interview. So don't want to miss that.
Yeah, check it out.
Bumper
That's good.
music tonight, Joey. Who did we spin on the show tonight?
Immortal Possession, Byzantine, and Howler.
Fuck yeah. Metal segment, Chris, bye.
Always motherfucking Christ sakes, the great metal motherfucker.
That's right. Murder Metal Mayhem intro music, of course, by Low 12. Thanks to all you guys listening. We keep seeing the numbers coming in. We appreciate it very much.
We wouldn't do this if you didn't have you guys out there.
That's
Like,
right.
For real.
So
we like
to
doing
read-
it, but you guys are the reason.
Yeah, and we like to read some of the comments. So, Chris, what about that first one?
First of all, we have Joanne Dixon says you guys are a bunch of immature idiots. I hate hearing anyone make fun of people killing innocent people. Aw.
Wow. Joanne.
We're fucking immature as fuck.
I know.
And we're not making fun of people. Oh, we are making people. Making fun of
Making
people,
people.
killing. We're making people. But we're making
Frankenstein.
fun of those people, not the innocents.
Right.
So you need to figure out what you're talking about. But thank you, Joanne, because obviously you're listening.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
That's right. Joey, what about that second one?
Argyle Killer Clowns commented, I love everything you do. I just started listening. There's so much I haven't heard, but I really liked the Roger Rogerson episode. I'm in Sydney and followed the case when it was all over the news. Really cool to have Mick on to weigh in. Great job, Bates.
Mix the homie.
Oh, yeah. Very cool. Aaron Simmons, 55, says, my husband and I listen to you guys every week in Minneapolis. He heard about you guys. He heard about you from a guy he works with, and we really enjoy laughing with you and smoking lots of pot with Joey in the 419.
Joey
So-
don't even smoke weed.
I
dude.
know. Just hearing that bubbling going on. He's must be he's cooking or something. And then, Chris, what about that last one?
Last one we got, Ronnie Kills You 666 says, hey, Murder Metal Man, we love you here in London. I got a whole group of my friends who listen every week. I can't wait to hear you do Graham Young. What a creepy bastard. Well,
You
there
got
you
your
go.
wish.
There you go.
All
We got it
2
right
hours
here.
and something of it
Yeah.
tonight. So
You
hope
got
you
it
like
right
that,
here.
Rhonda.
So Ronnie Kills,
Hell yeah.
we killed it.
All right, pick up my latest book, Slab of Sickness, Terror on the Tracks. You could check that episode description to get a copy of that and a free bookmark and poster with it. PeteAltieri.com.
Check out Pete's books. They're good as fuck.
Thank you very much. MurderMetalMayhem.com. We got that web store. You can buy some Christmas gifts for those creepy motherfuckers,
Fuck
crazy
yeah.
bastards on your list. I'll link to that. Joey, how about your distro?
Hit up my distro, get some Christmas shit if you want to.
Right.
Lots of CDs, and I got the new Goremonger Horror Flicks 3 T-shirts and stickers, even though the CD's not out yet, but soon.
So
Hell
you
yeah.
got merch going on.
And I'll
over,
link
Bo.
to that in
Yep.
the episode description so you can get a hold of Joey. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and check out that YouTube channel. The Patreon's a good way to help support what we do, $3 a month. And we can't let him go without hearing a karaoke song. I thought this was a good pick for tonight. So crank this one up. And until next time, keep one foot in the gutter.
A case of poison in your tea, mate.
This one's for you, Michael, because I know how much you love this shit, brother.
Drowning teeth up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and let them come into me. Get up, come on, get down with the shawback. Mother, get up, come on, get down with the shawback. Rocker, get up, come on, get down with the shawback. And this is the gift that has been given to me. Inside you, the sickness is rising. Don't try to deny what you feel. When you give it to me, that all that was good is died. It is decaying. When you give it to me, seems that you're having some trouble in dealing with these changes, living with these changes. The world is a scary place. Now that you've woken up the demons. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and let them come into me. Get up, come on, get down with the shawback. Your mother, get up, come on, get down with the shawback. Brother, get up, come on, get down with the shawback. And this is the gift that has been given to me. And when I dream, and when I dream, and when I dream, and when I dream.
Now, why the fuck is Disturbed such a pussy fucking band? I mean, they are the furthest fucking thing from metal. They are a bunch of fucking posers, ass, fucking bitches with this gay ass fucking music like this. I mean, seriously, I'm not down with the fucking sickness. I'm not down with shit that has anything to do with these fucking pussy ass fucking posers.
David Draymond sucks big fucking cock. Fuck you, poser. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and let them come into me. Get up, come on, get down with the shawback. Your mother, get up, come on, get down with the shawback. Your fucker, get up, come on, get down with the shawback. And this ass out, come on with me.
Mother, man.